FM WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, off and running. Brian here with you, Bree Lynn producing. Starting you off at 69 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge for your Friday morning as we're broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio right here on Government Street. We have got a show that's all over the map today, y'all. We're going to talk with ABC News about the Board of Peace. We're going to talk with Andrew Ward about the Boot LA. David St. Romain's coming by later. Nolan Company's going to be on board. Mike Echols running for the Congress in the 5th District. We are all over the place this morning. So let's get rocking and rolling. Top stories and trending. A new proposal in Central could reshape law enforcement in the community. Instead of expanding its part-time police department, Mayor Wade Evans is considering an official partnership with the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office. This comes amid staffing shortages and budget concerns. Under the new proposal, the city would pay about $2 million annually to fund a deputy presence alongside the city's part-time officers. 21-year-old Deshira Hawkins, an Elaine Hunt correctional employee, was arrested Thursday for malfeasance in office, according to the Iberville Parish Sheriff's Office. The reason for the malfeasance or the reason for the arrest was not provided, but it does come after a weekend where 4 people were arrested for bringing contraband to the prison. Additionally, a 32-year-old inmate was found unresponsive in his cell over the weekend before later dying. And, well, we don't need to tell you how many people have died at the Elaine Hunt Correctional Center over the last year. More cruise ships are expected to dock downtown after a major river cruise line agreed to invest in and renovate the paperclip dock on the Mississippi River. American Cruise Lines has entered into a partnership with the East Baton Rouge Metro Council to renovate and lease the dock for the next 2 decades. Members of the Southern University Presidential Search Committee said Thursday they want to have a new president in place by July 1st. Previous leader left the role in November. Committee chair Jason Hughes said he wants the panel to have made significant progress by the end of this week and that they were finalizing the selection of a search firm to help it find those potential candidates. We are not quite done with winter just yet, y'all. You heard the forecast on the way in. Well, looking ahead to Saturday and Sunday, we've got it's about a 30 to 40% chance of rain today and tomorrow. But I'm looking ahead to the overnight lows on Sunday and Monday night. We're going to see freezing again on Monday and the Tuesday. So let's get it one more time. What you got, Breland?
Police continued on Friday to search the former home of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, a day after the former prince was held in custody for the best part of 11 hours on suspicion of misconduct in police office linked to his friendship with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
So Fox News, the Fox News rundown this morning, the 4 o'clock hour show here, was saying that they did not alert the king before they arrested the king's brother.
What?
I know.
Oh, come on. You have to at least.
I know. Give him a heads up.
Right. Go and get him. So I Googled Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, and the first thing that comes up is this photo of him in the back seat. And what BBC's calling shell-shot haunted photo of Andrew will be part of how the arrest is remembered. And that's a horrible photo. Poor guy. I mean, but still.
Wait, he's rolling with a sex offender, and you're saying poor guy.
No. But like, poor guy, that's the photo that they pull out of a back seat of a car.
Okay, yeah. It's memed all over the place.
Yes,
already.
Yes.
Like already.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's the photo.
Somebody sent me one yesterday. With the photo. Oh man, is our good buddy who's looking to move to Louisiana from? I think he lives in Indiana. Yeah,
our snow friend.
Yeah, hit me up with it yesterday. But it's the memes from this thing are making their way all over the dadgum place.
Oh, Lord. Hundreds of tourists are scrambling to get home from Argentina as the nationwide strike shut down most of the country. Unions are protesting a law being considered, which they say would weaken long-standing protections for workers. Man.
A bunch of those tourists are Americans. And as I understand it, they were on a cruise that went to Antarctica and came back. And when they came back back to Argentina before they could get, onto their destination, like the dock was all closed up before they got there.
Oh, see, I would have went into instant panic attack mode.
I know.
Freaked out. Like, how do I get home?
I don't know. Stuck on there's probably worse places to be stuck than a luxury cruise ship.
Right.
The
U.S. picked up 2 more gold medals at the Winter Olympics yesterday. We are right behind Norway.
Okay, so we moved up a spot.
We moved up to second place. We're ahead of Italy, ahead of France, but behind Norway. Okay, I'll take it.
Well,
second place overall.
I don't know. I lost my $2 on the hockey game yesterday, so betting on the U.S.
I was going to say curling, Brian.
No. No, the line on the game was the U.S. -1.5, and they won by 1 in overtime. So Canada covered that spread.
Yeah. It's been a fun Winter Olympics. I know.
I've watched maybe 6 minutes of curling, and that's about it.
Oh, no. See, I sat down the other night, a whole hour of curling. I love it.
I got you hooked. All right. We're at 610 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Who's my first live read?
I'm going to get it for you. Hang on. Let's see.
610 at Talk 107.3 FM. We got a lot of ground to cover in sports on the back end. We will talk a little baseball. We will talk a little gymnastics. We'll talk a little men's basketball. I'm saving women's basketball until 6:25 because, oh my goodness, what a game last night. Now, that being said, with the whole slate this weekend of sports, no, there's not going to be any tailgating at the box. Gymnastics. Is gymnastics on the road at Oklahoma? We'll get to all that, but nonetheless, throughout your spring sports season, do not forget Mathern's is right there on campus. You know about it during football season. It's in the Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center, directly across the street from Tiger Stadium. Might be a little bit easier to forget if you're going to the Maravich Assembly Center or Tiger Park or Alec Box Stadium, but nonetheless, they are still the closest full-service grocery store to those locales. So if you're tailgating for LSU baseball, if you're tailgating for LSU softball, if you are tailgating for men's or women's home basketball games, or, gymnastics is in that mix too. Don't forget track season's right around the corner as well, which I'm not telling you about that from the LSU standpoint, but the high school track meets, oh my word, campus gets crawling. It's awesome. Mathern's has got you covered. Whatever you need more of, whatever you forgot, whatever you ran out of, Mathern's has got you covered there, right there in the Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center. It's Mathern's. Let's see what Richard White.
Oh, they took off?
What?
They took off today?
No, I said he's on the air.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. So this is the picture you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, poor guy, because if somebody took a photo, good for him.
What's going on behind that seat that we can't see the picture? You're like, poor guy, because, he's getting stuck by a 14-year-old. Like, maybe.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to be poor guy.
By the way, I had to look twice because the first time I thought his driver was Jimmy Ott.
Oh, no. Oh, Alan said I got mentioned on the radio. Woohoo!
Yeah, I didn't want to throw out names. I don't know how private people are, so our good friend from Indiana who's looking to move here.
Helen, I said, poor thing.
Poor guy. Just go around sex trafficking the poor guy.
Poor guy. Brian goes, poor thing. TV. Fire. Can't do that shit.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
6:15, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along, having fun over there in the chat on Facebook Live. We're live on Facebook every single day. We're also live on YouTube every day as well, but a lot of the interaction with the show happens over on Facebook Live. So Bree Lynn's talking about that picture of the former Prince Andrew, and Byron saying, put it up on the monitor in the studio. Now, but this has got me down a rabbit hole here, and we got to call somebody out. I got to call somebody out by name. I'll call them out by first name only. Sonny is slacking. If we rewind the clock back to the pandemic, Sonny would have had a logo for the show already made out of this picture. And if you're an OG in the chat, you already know that's true. So we got to call Sonny out a little bit. Say get to work on this. If we're memeing the former Prince, then
it does look like Jimmy Ott.
Oh, sorry, no, the Prince doesn't look like Jimmy. You gotta stop saying things on air that mean nothing to the people who are listening on air. The driver, it takes a second glance because at first glance, the driver.
There we go. Look behind you.
Yeah, when I first saw the driver, I was like, is that Ott? No, it's not Ott. Oh, my word. Yeah. The memes are great. We got to keep them going. All right, we got a lot to cover in sports. Let's get back to real business here. The LSU baseball team is in Jacksonville this weekend for the Live Like Lou Classic. Coach Jay Johnson says loves playing in tournaments like this early in the season for several reasons. Cut 19.
There's always really good teams. The format feels like a regional in a lot of ways, other than that's at a neutral site. So in some ways it can kind of feel like Omaha. And that's like their tagline, like best outside of Omaha for these tournaments. And we've had great experiences in them.
Which you get a very good barometer of where your team is at when you play in these. It's just, it is, I couldn't agree more with the coach. Getting back to it, we were in Texas last year. Actually for the last 4 seasons. Johnson believes playing in Jacksonville this weekend could help with recruiting in the state of Florida as well.
We're trying to recruit Florida better. The first priority was to recruit Texas really well when I got here, and we're doing that. We're doing that as good as anybody. And now this is kind of the next frontier. And if you look at our 26 class, we're recruiting Florida really well.
LSU will take on Indiana 1 p.m. on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. Pregame, I believe, will be at 10:30. Tomorrow, LSU will take on Notre Dame. That will be an 11 a.m. start time, and then also on Eagle. And then Sunday, 2 p.m. against Central Florida. Moving over from baseball to gymnastics, going to be a big night tonight. LSU gymnastics is on the road in Norman to face top-ranked Oklahoma. So this is a 1 versus a 2 matchup. Our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network had Didi Bro on Tiger Rag Radio earlier this week. Coach Bro expects the meet to be an entertaining one.
It's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a great meet. Both teams are great. We've got more athletes. We're deeper because we have more athletes. But if you put our best 6 and their best 6 on every event, it's a toss.
LSU, Coach Bro, says tonight's meet's going to come down to whichever team stays poised across all 4 events, believing the Tigers are capable of doing exactly that.
Don't look at the scores. Don't look at the judging. Just perform. And if LSU does that, and they're very capable of doing that, we've got a lot of difficulty. We throw more difficulty than Oklahoma does, which means we take more chances. But when we do that and we do it well, we'll be rewarded and we'll win.
8 p.m. is your start time for that meet. And if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be on ESPN too. So if you wanted to catch that one on TV, you certainly could. LSU men's basketball, they are taking on a 5 p.m. start time tomorrow. Basketball taking on Alabama in the Maravich Assembly Center. Like I said, 5 p.m. start time. It'll be on Eagle 98.1 as well as the Tigers come back home after 2 tough road losses. Alabama likes to run. Alabama likes to shoot threes. Alabama is going to be a pretty high seed in the tournament. But that being said, they have some weak spots that LSU can exploit if they do so. It's 6:20. Here's the Fox Business Report. What? Yeah, the meme he said is the look when you had Taco Bell 2 hours ago and the Uber drivers hitting every pothole. Mm-mm. Bro. All right, you've been hearing Ray talk about it previously in our traffic reports. I'll pick up where he left off there. Ascension Parish is where we've got our problem this morning. It starts, well, the problem is done before you get into Baton Rouge, though. Mile marker 175 is where you're going to find the accident. The accident was from a while ago. The left-hand lane of 10 westbound, as I understand it, is still shut down. Now, once you get past, what is that? Which exit is that? Once you get past Highway 73, coming into town, no problem whatsoever. It's before that where the backups are. So from Prairieville on in, you're good. But if you're coming in from points beyond, like let's say Gonzales, Pelican Point, that area, you are going to see some delays this morning. 12 westbound, you got your normal slowdowns out by Denham Springs. They actually pick up a little bit more around O'Neill than they do out by Range Avenue. But it's smooth sailing past O'Neill. 10 eastbound coming back across from West Baton Rouge looks good, as does I-110. Surfer Streets is a stalled vehicle about 5 minutes ago. Not any major thoroughfare. Well, South Choctaw and Oak Villa might be buzzing a little bit right about now, and that's where you're going to find the problem. But that's the only problem on the board from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. Signs, banners, political campaigns, business cards, and more. These are the things that Danny and his team do over at 5 Star Printing and Signs. 271-4096 is the phone number. Of course, it's 225 because he is right here locally. 271-4096 or printshop5.com where you'll find them online. In fact, I don't recommend the website enough because when you go to the website, you get a visual. You get a firsthand look at their services, the promotional products. It's never been more important to have your branding everywhere. As he takes a sip of his Tech Gumbo coffee mug. Never been more important to make sure your branding is front and center wherever you are, because if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. And this is true in the business world. It's also true in a political year, in an election year. Your campaign, you got to be front and center everywhere you can. This is what Danny does better than anybody else out there, y'all. When it comes to the yard signs, the door hangers, you want to get creative. You want to do something that, okay, how often do you go to your mail and you see the mailer, the little mailer from the candidate where the whole family's dressed in white and they have the golden retriever? Like, we've seen it over and over and over again. Talk with Danny about doing something a little bit differently. Talk with Danny about doing something that's going to catch someone's eye to where you're not just like every other campaign out there. Give him a call, 225-271-4096. If you're running for U.S. Senate or City Council in Maurepas, it doesn't matter. all the way up and down the board. Danny's got you covered. 271-4096. LSU women's basketball was going at it last night, and what an incredible game it was. The Tigers had an early lead, 26-21 at the end of the first quarter, but Ole Miss doubled them up in the second quarter, beat them by 3 in the third quarter. Going into the fourth quarter of last night's game, the Tigers were down by 10. You were missing Flau'jae Johnson for a good chunk of the first half due to foul trouble, and I believe she rolled her ankle at some point, or she had I believe it was an ankle injury that held her out for a little while. So this was a questionable game heading into the fourth quarter. And you're coming off last Saturday night's loss against South Carolina. And, in fact, you're coming off of losing 2 out of your last 3 when you're playing ranked opponents. Last night they were playing a ranked opponent in their home arena where they were undefeated this season. LSU comes from being 10 points down to winning by 8, 78-70. Your final score last night. Kim Mulkey rallied her girls. It was Flau'jae in the fourth quarter. It was Malaysia Fulwiley in the fourth quarter. It was quite the performance. But let's take you back to the first quarter as we've got a couple of highlights for you because there were so many in the game. Flau'jae hit her first 3 shots of the game before having to come out. And I believe she hit her fourth when she came back into the game. Here's one of those first 3 shots as she stepped behind the 3-point line.
Williams right wing to the top of the key. Spinning at the free throw line. Finds Flau'jae. Now she'll back it out to the top of the key. Step back 3 for Flau'jae.
Oh, my goodness.
Flau'jae on the step back. Woman possessed. I tell you, she's got 9 of the 11. It's 11-5. A Bengal Pest Products 3-pointer.
9 of the 11. Yeah, they were starting off at 11-5. Good. It was a great first quarter. It really was. And it was a tough battle the whole way through. Ole Miss is no slouch, y'all. They were coming in at number 17 in the nation last night. And like I said, until last night, they were undefeated on their home court. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to the second half a little bit. Get a couple of other players into the mix here. Malaysia Fulwiley. Flau'jae to Malaysia on the break. When you see Malaysia Fulwiley accelerate, it's like Sonic the Hedgehog. It's really something. It just catches the eye.
Peterson, bounce pass, right elbow, Lattimore, the big post player working on Zakiya Johnson in the lane. A strip to the ball, and Flau'jae's got it. It's 2-on-1. Flau'jae to Fulwiley. Layup is good. So LSU has come to life a little bit. Joyner got credit for that block shot, actually, and it's a 7-point game.
You know when you're playing a video game and you have that turbo boost? That's what Malaysia Fulwiley has. She's got that turbo boost. It's so impressive. Fast forward to the fourth quarter. Get a couple more for you while we got some time here. Let's keep it with Malaysia Fulwiley. Doing it all from the steal to the other end of the court.
Peterson with 2, with 1, baseline, just throws it up. It's an air ball. Joyner rebounds.
Go.
Richard on the run. Richard pull up, 12-footer.
Go!
LSU has tied it.
Defense.
Sorry.
Get a stop, get a basket.
We got those out of order. That was Jada Richard finally tying it up in the fourth quarter. Before that, though, Fulwiley doing it all. 4.2.
And Fulwiley steals it on the wing. A wave of Tigers. Fulwiley leans and lays it in, and it's a 4-point game. So Fulwiley stole it, took it home, and it's 69.
That's it.
To 65.
Let's go ahead and fast forward to the final score here. Patrick Wright on the call for the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Ole Miss inbounds. The LSU crowd making some noise. Ball game is over, and a huge LSU fourth quarter. Tigers 78, Ole Miss 70.
You gotta love it.
And a happy group of Tigers. The adversity was thick.
So from LSU standpoint, what a way to recover by beating a ranked team in their own house. Just impressive across the board. Now, Flau'jae and Malaysia are going to get a lot of the credit because they did a lot of the scoring, but every Tiger that was on that court in the fourth quarter deserves a ton of credit because this was a defensive victory above anything else. On defense, LSU was shut Ole Miss down in the fourth quarter. The Rebels were 0 for 16 from the floor. 0 for the quarter. Ole Miss scored 7 points in the fourth. They all came from the free throw line. That is the kind of drive and determination you love to see. Here's news.
No, I didn't leave that man over there.
Thank you. It was worth it for the quick hit. Jordanna Miller is going to call us.
Poor guy.
Sympathizing with sexual traffickers. She's not calling in until 6:40. So I'll bang on a live first. Let me go see what Condon wanted now. I love it. He'll come down once and then he'll go away, and I'll go down like 4 times. He's on the air.
And he's still in the air.
I think it's a penning. Yeah, I was hanging out with Bayham on Sunday. This is the tip of the iceberg of what he's working on for this session. Yeah. Actually, most of his work is going to be on America 250. But he's got his claws into some stuff. I can't talk about it because it was all off the record.
Be a good year.
It's always... I'm doing a better job of letting lawmakers know that if I'm drinking too, it's off the record. We're just enjoying toast. That's all.
Just breaking bread.
We're just enjoying the crew of Mid-City. Actually, we're ignoring the crew of Mid-City. Mid-City was passing while all this was going on.
Like, you can tell me things. I'm not going to loud cap you.
Well, it's tough to build those it's those, and you screw them up once and they're over with. But also I have a duty to report. So, I mean, I'm not a reporter. I'm an entertainer as a talk show host. I'm an entertainer, not a journalist. But like, there is a listener expectation that, yeah. I'll tell you what I'm working. So I'll tell you what I'm working on right now, y'all. This is like deep. I'm nowhere near even the beginning of it yet. Is the next data center in Louisiana coming to St. Tammany Parish? Everything is pointing in that direction, y'all. But due to NDAs, which is the only thing I can't crack, due to NDAs, I don't know yet. But the middle of St. Tammany Parish, like north of Lacombe. Uh-huh. And I'm not a huge fan of the junior sleuths and the TikTok investigators, but there is one who knows her shit, and she is I don't know. I need to. I DM'd her a couple times. Yeah.
Alan, I don't know. He wants to know: are we doing anything for the big 250, Louisiana specifically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about a little bit of it with Nolan Company. Yeah, that's part of the rundown for them. Bayham's got a stack of stuff. The last time Bayham was on, we talked about some of it. I need my doubloon. Oh, I gave it to James. Damn it. We got America 250 doubloons. I know. When we get Bayham on, I'll get another one. Love that promo coming back in. My guy Bo Snerdley was killing it yesterday, y'all. If you're side note, if you're not listening to the Rush Hour weekdays at 6 p.m. There's a few exceptions, right? When we have Kevin Ford on, we got to bump the national show. When we have Tiger Rag Radio, we got to bump. But it's most days 6 p.m. Unless we have something local, we've got what's called the Rush Hour. It's hosted by a guy named James Golden. James Golden, you probably know better as Bo Snerdley. If you're a longtime news talk person, that name Bo Snerdley, you know, because he was Rush Limbaugh's producer forever. And the you could hear a little bit of Rush in him. Okay, you'd hear a little bit of Rush in him. With a little, he would argue, and I would as well. Rush with a little more soul, but like old school Rush. When Rush would make a greater point by making fun rather than being angry. And that's what Snerdley was doing last night, and it was awesome. So if you're not catching the Rush Hour, I highly, highly recommend 6 p.m. weekdays right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Jordanna Miller from ABC News is going to join us about 2 minutes from right now. I want to talk about this Board of Peace. What is it? Why was it necessary? And will it actually get anywhere? We're seeing a bunch of pledges from a bunch of countries, but how do you turn to the next corner? Jordanna Miller going to join us in just a quick second. While we have a moment, I do want to remind you about Neurojust, neurojust.com, Neurojust, neurojust.com. They specialize in treating anxiety and depression, specifically, or especially, I should say, for those that have been previously treatment resistant. Their specialty is called TMS. It's transcranial magnetic stimulation. This is a therapy that targets the part of the brain that affects mood with the magnetic stimulation. So if you think about it in these terms, like if you're battling with anxiety or depression, you know it's a constant fight or flight in your life. Everything's a fight or flight situation. And when everything is a fight or flight situation, it is exhausting. And that's where anxiety turns to depression and worsens because other things enter the equation from there. What this does is it takes those choppy seas, those 6-foot waves, and just calms them down steadily until you're just looking at smooth water across the board. Learn more at neurojust.com. I trust them implicitly. I sent my mom over there. I don't think you could have a bigger level of trust than saying I sent my mom to them. And I can tell you her results. She sleeps better at night. Brain fog's gone away. Outlook is increasingly better. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience on her journey. So if you're ready for this on your journey as well, look up neurojust.com. All right, waiting on Jordanna Miller here, who should be coming up any moment now. Let me recheck my email, because if we have to pivot, we have to pivot. And I understand that. This was no, we should be good. So we'll be on the lookout for her. The President Trump announced yesterday at the inaugural Board of Peace meeting that 9 members have agreed to pledge $7 billion towards a Gaza relief package, and 5 countries have agreed to deploy troops as part of an international stabilization force for the war-battered Palestinian territory. But I want to back up to the whole Board of Peace thing. What is it? How did it become? And does it really have the strength to implement what it's being promised? Jordanna Miller, ABC News correspondent, joins us right now. Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. I think the Board of Peace has there's a lot of question marks about what can be implemented. And by the way, the budget, which is pretty small at this point for rebuilding Gaza, right? $7 billion by donors and another $10 billion by the United States, right? The estimate says that it's going to cost about $50 billion to rebuild Gaza.
Okay, so we're if we're on our way to that goal, let's just look at it as in terms of a goal. So we're talking $7 billion over the course of 9 nations, not 9 nations putting up $7 billion apiece. So that puts it a little bit short a lot of it short right now. But it would be moving in that direction. But I don't know, Jordanna, is it the money that looks like it's going to be the hang up, or getting people to stick with their promises?
Right. Well, I think that's a good point. I mean, only if there's a real disarming of Hamas will we see people, I think, continue to pony up and give money for this project.
So what goes into that? How do we get Hamas disarmed? How do we hold? Because, I mean, there's so much to cover. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot that's being figured out.
Mm-hmm.
The mechanisms that will actually allow Hamas to disarm, we don't really know what that is yet, right? Is it the police that's being put together? Is it the international security stabilization force that's not in place yet? Is it the technocratic government, which isn't really working yet? I mean, there's a lot of questions and not a lot of answers.
And I think that's where the positive turn for the Board of Peace comes in, because previous iterations of, world negotiations have not gotten Hamas anywhere. So is there reason to be hopeful that this can have a different outcome than, like, let's say the UN?
Right. I think that's a good question. And I think it's one of the reasons the UN is so angry or unrattled by the Board of Peace, because clearly people in the Trump administration think it could do a better job than the UN, right? Which wasn't able to broker any kind of peace in the long war. So, I think these are a lot of outstanding questions, and unfortunately, we're at the beginning of the beginning of the beginning, right?
Yes.
Of what is really a years-long process to bring peace and stability and a new government to Gaza, and I think it's going to take some time.
Oh no, absolutely. But I guess where my positivity comes in, and like you said, none of this is qualified yet. None of this is tested, much less proven. But the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So this is at least doing something different.
Right. I mean, this is a big experiment, right? It's a big experiment to see if actually, a new whole system in Gaza can be laid down.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big experiment. And I think we're going to have to wait and see.
We got about 2 minutes left with Jordanna Miller from ABC News. What are some of the pivotal points here to talk about? Well, let's start with what went down at the meeting yesterday. What came out of it that you were able to take away?
Well, there were certain countries that announced that they were going to be part of the international security force, and there were certain countries that put up money. And I think that's all, important steps. But we have to understand that Gaza right now has no real police security force, has no real government.
Right.
It's split in two with the Israelis in half of it.
Mm-hmm. So,
there also has to be an Israeli withdrawal at some point. So it's going to be a long process.
Is that going to be the trickiest part, is balancing the need for Israel on the Board of Peace and keeping Israel in check when it comes to their level of power in the restructuring?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. I really think it is. It's going to be, it's going to be this act that I think is going to be really hard to balance. and a lot of players that are involved and a lot of cooks in the kitchen, right?
Yep.
So
last one before we get you out of here, Jordan. I appreciate your time this morning. Last one before we get you out of here. Have they let out timelines for anything? Do we know when the next meeting is? Do we know what the next steps are?
we don't. We really don't.
All right.
We don't.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was an early check-in, and I greatly appreciate you carving out a couple minutes this morning. We'll let you get back to it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jordanna Miller from ABC News. Clearly phone in one hand and baby in the other, which, look, real life takes over, y'all. I greatly appreciate her hopping on board with it's the beginning of the beginning at that. So we will learn a lot more as things wear on, but I wanted to get at least a check-in on that, even though I knew anything definitive was going to be, not minuscule, but nuggets would be few and far between. So we're coming up on 647 to Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Big announcement made yesterday in downtown Baton Rouge, a partnership with American Cruise. The paperclip dock's going to be fixed up. We're going to talk about all that next. That poor woman trying to balance a bait. So you talk about embedded reporters. She's got her whole family over there. Yeah, she was in Gaza. She's like she's in Jerusalem while she's talking to us. Yeah. It's late evening, yeah. I probably should have included that. Yeah, I will.
This afternoon. From ABC News. Let's get back to it.
This kill the mics. To grab something off the printer. elevator wouldn't open.
Oh my Lord.
I know.
If you get stuck.
652 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. I want to thank Jordanna Miller from ABC News one more time. I forgot to mention it's she was calling in from Jerusalem, so halfway around the world, but bringing us to the update for what little information there is thus far. But she had that little information, so I greatly appreciate her efforts, and especially the balancing act between reporter and mom. Big announcement yesterday coming from Mayor President Sid Edwards, as American Cruise Lines is going to be here for 20 years. This was kind of awesome. The press release from the mayor's office says Mayor President Sid Edwards and American Cruise Lines President and Chief Executive Officer Charles B. Robertson announced a 20-year agreement estimated to yield a $25 million impact to the region by bringing about 100 ACL river ship dockings annually to Baton Rouge and attracting an average of 170 tourists per trip. Officials made the announcement shortly after ACL's American Melody arrived at the city dock located on the Mississippi River in front of the Raising Cane's River Center. Of course, that's the paperclip dock. Now, before we go any further, our news partners at WBRZ caught up with Mayor Edwards after the press conference. Some of this audio, he turns his head away from the microphone a couple times, but I want to play it in its entirety. But here's the mayor yesterday.
It was about right at 1 year ago. I was newly in office, and it was one of the questions. Hey, we got this dock out here. Why nothing's coming? They said, well, it's broke. And I got a lot of that, when I got into office. So Lon Vickner, my chief of staff, and I called American Cruise Lines, and we got together and we just started a conversation, started meeting about it. And I found that I thought it wouldn't be that difficult to get them back into our great city. And through a hard work of a lot of people, it happened.
ACL, American Cruise Lines, ACL, is spending $2 million to restore the dock. That's an important piece of this whole equation, because to go along with the dock, keep in mind, we're looking at Plan Baton Rouge Phase 3 right now as well, which is going to involve changing the way we view our riverfront, changing the actual visual of the riverfront, changing the structure around the riverfront. So if you're looking at a 20-year agreement that's supposed to net about $25 million worth of economic activity, imagine how this will ramp up if and when we follow through on Plan Baton Rouge Phase 3. Imagine how this will ramp up if and when we see more businesses that are catered to making the most of these opportunities and or bringing in more opportunities surrounding it. Really, success begets success, y'all. And if we're going to see cruise ships docking at the paperclip right there, well, are other companies going to want to get involved with different types of businesses while that particular cruise ship isn't there? What's the spinoff from it? Not to mention what's on land that they could take advantage of while they're here. Both of those items will grow in the years to come with Plan Baton Rouge Phase 3 and with other ideas that are going to sprout up as a result of this. So while the announcement was about $25 million worth of economic activity, I have a tendency to believe, and maybe I'm a little bit biased about it, but I have a tendency to believe that what's to come in the future is only going to ramp up from there. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to, if nothing else, seeing the dock itself in regular use is going to be great. We are at, good, we have time. 6:56, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. I want to pivot. I wanted to cover two news stories here, and I'm glad we have time to do them both. The other one is about the congressional maps. Our news partners at the Louisiana Radio Network had this. I wanted to piggyback off of them if we could, with the Supreme Court ruling on the constitutionality of two majority black districts still pending. The state's current congressional map remains as well. We are where we're going to be for this year. So in District 6, we're represented by Cleo Fields. It remains majority black, and Fields has drawn 4 Republican challengers, all of whom are also black. Among them, Larry Davis of Livingston, who really needs to come on this show. He says the Democratic Party does not own the black community.
To label one group of people as being owned by another political party is wrong, which is why we're running.
Davis says he will represent all the people in the 6th District, which runs diagonally from Shreveport to Baton Rouge. It does include Natchitoches, Alexandria, and Opelousas as well.
We see industry that's not even being brought to the heart of Louisiana. We see the current representative only representing part of this district and not the whole. That's unacceptable.
What's amazing, though, is Davis is from the same part that Cleo Fields actually does serve, but the fact that he can see that it's going to bode well for him, especially as he's on the campaign trail. Problem is, though, Cleo Fields comes in with a war chest. He comes in with all kinds of name recognition. Re-elect is a lot easier than elect, so he's got an uphill battle. I want to know what kind of industry Davis is talking about that is not bringing to the district. I'm curious for follow-up on that. Everything he's had to say so far, I've heard from him a couple times along the way. Everything he's had to say so far has had my ear, to be sure. Now, there's another challenger seeking the seat. That's Peter Williams of Lettsworth. This is his 4th run for Congress. He says he's taking a different approach this time around.
During those 3 different times I ran as a Democrat. And I would always find myself caught in the middle because my platform was conservative.
And this was the argument I made when they first laid this district out. This was the argument I made, saying it's not impossible to run as a Republican in the 6th congressional district. When you look at racial makeup, and that's literally all that they looked at to carve this thing out. When they gerrymandered this district in, that's all that they looked at was race. I made the argument of Republicans should run based off of this mentality. Rural black voters are more in line with the beliefs of Republicans than the beliefs of Hollywood. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe the things that make us, the things that unite us are greater than the things that divide us in Louisiana, especially when it comes to our beliefs outside of city limits. Williams says when he ran previously as a Democrat, conservatives would tune him out because of, well, that Democrat next to his name. But this time around,
they'll get a chance to see who Peter Williams is. They're going to get a chance to see that I'm steady, I'm stable, I'm focused. I can handle the pressures of what's happening in Washington, D.C. I'm old school.
Monica Penning and Chris Johnson are also in the race. We'll learn more about them in the weeks to come. Monique's been on the show before. I forget what she ran for. What did she run for? She ran against Emily Chenevere, I think, for state rep. I knew it. Oh, I knew what's Rhett that came in to do Best Burgers in Baton Rouge. Yeah, his first stop on Best Breakfast was Miss Stephanie. So
we have to get him back on.
When he wraps up his breakfast tour, we're going to.
You gotta go to Frank's.
He did.
These colorful giraffes have been hanging there for, I kid you not, over 10 years. Someone buy them. You've also got plenty of seating, and each table has a fun little theme. So if you like music, you probably sit here. If you're into outer space, this is your spot. If you like Corvettes, vroom, this is your table. And then the last example I have for you, who dat, baby? If by chance you're over 10 feet tall, you may not want to come because your head will get chopped off by these huge fans. You've got an open kitchen concept for the extra account.
And Rhett is getting funnier, by the way. He's really settling into the role, realizing it's not about the review nearly as much as it's about the entertainment.
You know what I was wondering, because I came across old footage last night.
What?
Let me.
.706 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing. We got a lot of ground to cover this morning, y'all. This hour especially, we're going to talk about the boot in our next segment. What is the boot? Well, the boot LA is a service for veterans and really a service for all of us. Basically, the long and the short of it is they help place veterans into jobs, into locales. And they're doing the Lord's work here in Louisiana, and they continue to grow. And I was talking last segment about success begetting success. This is what Andrew Ward is doing. He's just showing win after win after win, and every win that he posts up, he's able to gain more momentum, and we are able to better serve those who have served us when it comes to making sure that that our veterans are, I want to say taken care of, but honestly, when you're moving a veteran into your neighborhood, they're taking care of you. That's that they're able to continue to serve. It's an amazing story. I don't want to spoil too much of it. Andrew Ward's coming up next. Also this hour, Kelly Schulz from New Orleans and Company going to join us. Let's get a little postmortem on Mardi Gras. And it was a good one. Oh, it was a good one. So all that's coming your way later on. Right now, the top stories and trending. Move EBR program broke ground on 2 major projects this week. The first of which was the Jones Creek Road Extension Project. That is going to be new road, new pavement laid to be constructed to extend Jones Creek Road from Tiger Bend, where it currently ends, to Airline Highway, adding a new north-south connector in this area to improve mobility. This is honestly overdue. I'm so glad this got prioritized in this way. The other one is the Perkins Road Capacity Project. Perkins from Pico to Seguin. It is going to, this actually originated under the Green Light program, was adopted into the Move EBR program. Currently, it is Perkins is a 2-lane roadway with open ditches from Seguin to Pico. This project is going to add 2 additional travel lanes and a number of other side, what would the word be? Not side notes, side
initiatives.
Initiatives is a good word.
Yeah.
It's not the only thing being done with the 2 lanes. All right, here we go. A new proposal in Central could reshape law enforcement in the community. Instead of expanding their part-time police department, Mayor Wade Evans wants to team up with the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office. This plan comes amid staffing shortages and budget concerns. Under the new proposal, the city would pay about $2 million annually to fund a deputy presence working alongside the city's part-time officers, similar to the way they work in St. George. 21-year-old Deshira Hawkins, an Elaine Hunt correctional employee, was arrested Thursday for malfeasance in office. The reason for the arrest, or the reason behind the malfeasance, was not provided. This comes after a weekend where 4 people were arrested for bringing contraband to the prison. Additionally, a 32-year-old inmate was found unresponsive in a cell over the weekend before later dying, and we don't need to tell you how many people at Elaine Hunt have died over the last year. More cruise ships are expected to dock downtown after a major river cruise line agreed to invest in and renovate the Paperclip dock. This is American Cruise Lines. We talked about it extensively in our last segment. They're going to be around for the next 2 decades with a $25 million impact. Members of the Southern University Presidential Search Committee said yesterday they want to have a new president in place by July 1st. Its previous leader left the role in November. Committee Chair Jason Hughes said he wants the panel to have made significant progress by the end of this week and that they're finalizing the selection of a search firm to help define that exact presidential candidate.
Oh, Lord, this photo cracks me up. Police continued on Friday to search the former home of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, a day after the former prince was held in custody for the best part of 11 hours on suspicion of misconduct in public office linked to his friendship with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and homeboys like that.
Yeah, so the picture, if you're not watching on Facebook Live, you're listening online when she says homeboys like that, the picture is showing in our studio right behind me here. Is that a look of just absolute terror from the former Prince Andrew?
Freaked out.
He does look freaked out. Like if I saw an alien, that would be the face that I would have on me. And I'm curious what they're going to find in his residence.
Yeah,
because I mean they're searching it literally as we speak.
And what was it? Halfway through the show yesterday, you were like, "Oh, breaking news."
It was breaking a little bit earlier, but like as the announcement started to trickle in, I thought it was just a mere formality. Like when I first read the news yesterday morning, getting ready for the show, I thought this was a formality. But come to find out, like the police didn't even alert the king that they were arresting his brother. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. I mean, but
at least give them some sort of heads up. Right. Hey, some stuff's going to go down.
Yeah.
Hundreds of tourists are scrambling to get home from Argentina as a nationwide strike shut down most of the country. Unions are protesting a law being considered, which they say would weaken longstanding protections for workers.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. And as by the way, of those tourists, a number of them are Americans. Yeah. There was a cruise ship that went from Argentina to Antarctica and back. And as they got back in Argentina, they're like, sorry, dock's closed. Sorry, folks.
I couldn't even imagine.
Moose out front should have told you.
Going on vacation, you think, can't get back home. My goodness.
I know. So I was saying in the last hour, like there's worse places to be stuck than a luxury cruise ship. But then it was brought up to me that, those luxury cruise ships, they only plan for being there so long before things go from luxury to nasty real fast.
Oh, yeah. Like, what was it? The poop cruise?
Yep.
Did you ever see that Netflix documentary?
I did not see the documentary.
Oh, gosh. That chef's famous. he was just a famous, but yes, cruise ships can turn from relaxing to you struggling real fast.
Yep.
The U.S. picked up 2 more gold medals at the Winter Olympics yesterday. So we are right behind Norway. We're in second place.
Love it. Love it. Figure skating, which we haven't gotten since what was it, 2006?
Yeah.
So, and then of course hockey, we ruled the day yesterday as well.
Yep. Beating Sweden.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, I just got a question. So going back to the top stories, I was mentioning that the American Cruise Lines are going to be posting up at the Paperclip dock and making their $2 million investment. Someone had asked me, can you tell me where the Paperclip dock is? Well, it's the downtown dock. It's the one right there that was when the USS Kidd's there. It's the one that would be, if you're looking at it to the right, it's the downtown dock directly across the street from the River Center. Everyone calls it the Paperclip dock because if you look at it with the big loopy piping or whatever, it looks like a paperclip if you're standing a little far away from it.
Okay, Lassum. It's where the USS Kidd is. Lassum.
Yes, Louisiana Arts and Science Museum. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that dock. Sorry, that's every once in a while I've just taken for granted that everyone knows. But
everyone knows everything.
But
Brian.
it's the paperclip dock.
Like you.
Yeah. We are broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio this morning, and I need just a second to tell you about 180 Pros, and 180pros.com is their website. 330-2200 is their phone number, and that's important because 225, by the way, and it's important because of the 225. You're going to get same-day response time from 180 Pros. They're not your IT provider. They're your IT partner. That means when you have a problem with your network, you call them up, boom, they're responding same day. Not only that, but you're getting the latest when it comes to cybersecurity. You're getting top of the line when it comes to building and maintaining your network. But the real difference here is the fact that they care, the fact that they are invested. They base their success off of your success. So time that your network is down is a reflection on them. Time that you are not being as fully productive as you can be, they take that as a reflection on them. Learn more at 180pros.com. Quick break. We got Andrew Ward from The Boot up next.
The biathlon is going on right now.
Oh.
Would y'all watch that the other day? Holy crap.
So y'all know my idea, and this is why I like the American Cruise Lines thing, and I'm actually going to find out if I can learn more about this. But when American Cruise Lines moves in with the riverboat, with the cruise ship that goes up and down the Mississippi, what's going to go on when ACL's not there? My idea, and this was an economic development idea for downtown Baton Rouge, is a Southern University booze cruise. Now, you'd have to build another dock. Hang on. You have to build another dock out by Southern, right? By the Bluffs, which it's primed for that, okay? Because they need some reinforcement out there before that starts eroding because it's in a turn, right? And it's the most beautiful, most picturesque scene along the Mississippi River is on Southern's campus. But there is no other venue in the SWAC or any HBCU that is going to provide this level of a go-to destination. All right. You don't have a ton of hotels out by Southern. You do have a ton of hotels downtown. You put together a booze cruise that is your tailgate experience. Stay downtown, hop on the riverboat, get a little paddle wheel riverboat, go up to the Bluffs, you dock there, you go to the game, you come back down. Boom. I love it. I need to start exploring costs, and I really believe that there's no way that would be a white-owned business. It has to be a minority-owned business. I know, but it's brilliant. Thank you. Right. Larry Davis. 718 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Every chance we get to celebrate our veterans, I love diving in, and this is one of those programs that is really taking off, really grabbing a foothold, or should I say a boot hold. We've got Andrew Ward with the boot on with us right now. How are you, man?
I'm good. Good morning, Brian. I like that. We're getting a boot hold.
Getting a boot hold on Louisiana, to be sure. Let's start at the beginning. For those that are unfamiliar with the program, let's rewind back to start. What is the boot and how did it get started?
This was one of those ideas that we had in the transition team when I was on Governor Landry's military affairs. He really stressed on how can we keep our talent in Louisiana? How can we take the ones that come through our systems and the ones that kind of, are nurtured here and we don't lose them to other states. And so I remember back in my time in service, the transition coming out from military to civilian life was a tricky one, and you really didn't have a good safety net. And so what we decided to do was I went to Governor Landry and his team and Louisiana Economic Development, and we really had some really good statewide partners. And what we decided to do was say, look, let's operate the state like you would a high-performing college football team. That's the best analogy I can make it. We don't wait for them to come and check out our school. We send recruiters across the country and the ones that are at bases here. And we say, you're about to get out of service, the Army, Navy, the Marines. What is your next station? Where are you going to go when you become a civilian again? Chances are a lot of them are saying, well, I have this cybersecurity background in the military, or I have this combat medic, but I really don't have any good prospects yet. What we do is our success team then takes over and we match them to the best opportunities in the state.
This is amazing on a number of different fronts. One of those is, particularly with veterans, making that transition can often, if it's open-ended without direction, it can, it can really just stall.
It can. And the beautiful thing about our state, as you know, is that every region is different, right? From the Bayou region to Acadiana to Southwest Louisiana, North Louisiana, they all have their own sweet little kind of sauce. And so what we do is we introduce them to all of them and we say, look, if you really want a job in this field, here's where you want to go. Like currently right now, Lake Charles is about 30% of our placements so far.
Yeah.
And I should say a year and a half in, we're already at 280 placements. So you're talking about, an economic impact of over $18 million just in the first year and a half of operations. So they love Lake Charles, but they love Lake Charles because there's plants, there's the LNG facilities that are coming up. There's, they have a couple of great casinos and they have great hunting and fishing. So all these things that we know, and I don't say we take them for granted because we love our state and we know that it's sportsman's paradise and we know that these burgeoning industries are coming, big credit out to the team over at LED for bringing in these new opportunities. And so we're just tying in with them and giving them a soft landing. And that's the goal for all of us.
We're going to get to some of the evolution of the program and where it's at now in just a minute, but I kind of want to hear your sales pitch for each region of the state. How are you selling the Capital Region?
Well, I think the Capital Region, like you said, it has its own unique thing. It's hard to sell them on just this blanket kind of persona of a region. That doesn't really work. What we do is we have what's called a LACES program. So on top of our boot within it, we decided we're calling it LACES. It's an acronym for Leading Advancement and Career Empowerment for Service Members. But what we do there, that's our database for employers. And so the employers in Baton Rouge are not going to be the same employers in Lake Charles, like I mentioned, or Monroe or New Orleans. So we really leave it up to our success team and that individual service member and really just not try to say, okay, you're going to fit in this box, in this hole. You need to be able to go ahead and tell us what your dreams, aspirations, and wants are, and then we're going to tailor it basically for that. So it's hard to really do a sales pitch until we know and we interview them and understand what they want.
Okay, so yeah, you're not just putting the regions out there. It's a lot more tailored to their needs before they swipe right on a region.
Yeah, but to be fair, if you have certain regions, like we know about the big kind of industrial, like the Hyundai plant, the metadata center, and we know about these big projects that are coming down the pipe, those are ones that we can tie into because we know what kind of jobs they're going to need and we know what kind of infrastructure they're trying to build there. So that is an easy win for us. We're like, look, you can just tie onto that and you have an easy way through.
Andrew Ward with the boot is our guest, talking about the kind of the evolution of the program. When you said 280 placements thus far, rewinding the clock back to, let's start it at Governor Landry's inauguration. I mean, even though Technically, that was just the idea phase. But this is ramped up greatly. 280 is not spread out evenly over these months. It's growing month over month.
It is. We're probably between 25 and 30 per month. You know, when we first got started, it was really the first 6 months was just letting the world know who we were and you can trust what we're doing. And now in year 2, it's just ramped up to even a level that I didn't expect. And at 25 to 30 per month, you know, we're expecting, like I said, between 250 and 300. I mean, it's just, and I give a lot of credit to the team. We have a team now of about 12 individuals. A lot of them on the recruiting side, a lot of them on the success team side, and they really work in tandem, not only bringing those that never came from Louisiana, because the numbers are not skewed heavily, but, you know, I can tell you like 11% of our people that are coming in have never been in Louisiana before. This is their first time. And then 17% are the ones that were from Louisiana that left home. They went and served their country wherever, and now they want to come back. And then 72% are just from the ones that are here in Fort Polk, Barksdale, Belle Chase, our major bases. And they come here and that's all they see. And then what we do is we send buses and we bring them into, you know, places like Lafayette or Baton Rouge or Houma, and we do these Chamber of Commerce tours and we introduce them to all their opportunities. And the numbers, they speak for themselves. 72% of our recruits are staying right here in the state.
When we talk,
that's the goal.
When we talk about the state's population, I've never even thought about this. Do the military bases count as permanent residents, or does that go into when we do our census, when we do our redistricting? Are those numbers ours, or are they, because I mean, technically they're just temporary until they're not?
That's a really good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't think that they would qualify as residents, but you know what? If they are on active duty orders and they are living at, say, Fort Polk, and they have a house in Leesville, well, then I guess you would count them, right? Even if it was a little bit transient. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I've never thought to look that answer up before. We got Andrew Ward with the Boot. The Boot LA, the Boot.la is the website if you wanted to learn more. Andrew, talk to me a little bit about, you talked about pairing the veterans with where they want to go. I think the easier into this, and it's probably a softball question, but why, as Louisiana residents, do we want more veterans in our neighborhoods, in our backyards, in our towns?
Well, I mean, for obvious reasons, we always say thank you for your service, but This is a way to show it. This is a way to really engage with people that not only have really solid Department of Defense training, they each go into the military, whether it's the Air Force, the Coast Guard, or the Navy, and they come back with that individual skill set. And on top of that, they have the things that are intrinsic inside them, right? The discipline. I talk to employers all the time. They just want the basic things. They want them to show up on time. They want them to do a good job. They want to follow standard operating procedures or SOPs. And they really just want a good piece of their workforce. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to find that with somebody that has that dedication and has that background in the military. So you have that piece to it. But there's something else that in the economy that, you know, we talk about, where if you have a military member coming in and they have a 20-year pension, they've been in the military for 20 years, that's a pension of federal dollars that is attached to that person that comes into the state now. So now you have new money coming in. If they had a disability for, you know, if they had an injury in war, well, that disability benefit comes through the VA in the form of federal dollars. So these are, you know, I'm not going to say that they're just buckets of money that we're trying to pull in, but it's a secondary feature that really bolsters the economy outside of them just participating in the workforce.
Absolutely. I wanted you to repeat that part because that part is worth repeating. What you're getting in the citizenry is workforce, skilled workforce and drive. And that little bonus of, there's already dollars based underneath it. So you're not just, recruiting out of the blue here. And you're also not just recruiting for placement here, Andrew. There's a network that's involved in this. Talk to me a little bit about what goes into the placement and how it's not just here's a realtor, here's a job application.
Well, I mean, the network is going to be like if you come into Lafayette, for example, and there's a great organization that I'm a part of called the Acadiana Veteran Alliance. And so that's a regional one that really just manages and tries to get veterans better career placement and better opportunities here in the Acadiana region. So they can tie in and one feeds the other. They work in tandem. So I think you have a safety net of other veterans that you can tie into, especially that post 9/11 veteran population that is now coming out of high school, or they started in high school and now they're coming out 6 years later. They're 24 years old and they really don't know where to go next.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's really great to be able to show them that thanks rather than just say it in passing. And I would say, like, to the audience, there's two different ways that you guys can be involved immediately and easily.
Mm-hmm.
So most people, if I go in a room and I say, raise your hand if you're connected to a veteran, whether it's your son, your dad, your brother, your sister, there are people, 90% are going to raise their hands because we're all connected to somebody in the military.
Yep.
If they're from Louisiana and now they're serving abroad or they're serving at a base somewhere in the United States, if they're getting out of service, let them know Louisiana is a great place to come home to. And they can come and work with our team at the boot to be able to make it the best that it can be. So that's one thing. The other thing that you can do is, if you are an employer, listen to this, and you want to make sure your workforce is top notch and you want to bolster it with our military service members,
Mm-hmm.
theboot.la, and you just click on get involved. And there's a simple form. It's going to go right to our team, and it's no charge. It's all underwritten. Thank you, Cheniere Energy. But what we want to do is be able to have as many companies and organizations and stakeholders as we possibly can. So that way, the more options, the better. So if you want to do it, theboot.la, get involved, and you could be a part of that as well.
We got exactly 1 minute left with Andrew Ward. I wanted to go back to LACES, Andrew. Could you squeeze into 1 minute, talk about LACES and the usage of AI to make sure you're serving these folks right? Or do we need to book another segment to get into that?
No. That's an easy one. I mean, that's something that we went out to San Francisco. We went out to this tech conference, our CEO, Ben Armstrong, and myself. And what we really wanted to do was to be able to leverage this new AI revolution to be able to help our efficiencies get better. And that in placement, typically in the old days, you'd have somebody call in, then you'd have to take time to be able to look and see what those options are. Well, now we live in an age where in seconds, what you can do is, and we're building this on our back end right now, it's an AI-driven back-end system where we're going to match the company positions that are in our LACES program, and we're going to be able to match those directly with the MOS, or the method of service, the job they had in the military. And so now it'll just pop up within seconds, and we can say, Joe Smith did this in the military. Here are his best options. Go. And so by having that matching program driven by AI, we're leveraging it to be able to have more success in our efforts.
Theboot.la is the website, theboot.la. He's Andrew Ward. We always appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian. Have a great day.
You do the same. 7:30 at Talk 107.3 FM. Here's news. I could talk to that guy all day long. I already know I could drink with him all night long because we did that up in Washington. Crown and Crow, baby. Oh, damn. I forgot to throw in a Let's Go Mets. Yeah, we were at dinner at someplace that claims to be the best Mexican restaurant in Washington, D.C. I don't know. But, yeah, we come across the idea that, or the fact that we're the biggest Mets fans in the state.
Hey, yes, Kelly, look, we'll come to you in about 2 minutes, okay? I'll be honest, and this is just me. When I went to D.C. in 2021, because Allstate flew us up there because Scott did so well that year, the police not all that.
D.C.? It depends on where you go. All right, it's 100% dependent on where you go.
I guess I could have tried better places, but yeah, I didn't care for it. Yeah, really? I could have told you that. But that is terrible.
I don't like the way she phrases that. It's not the start of seafood season. Seafood season is year-round based off of the seafood you're eating. We're coming out of oyster season. It's about to get too warm to be oyster season. Yeah. It's crawfish season. It's not seafood. Yes, it's Lent. You're supposed to have seafood on Fridays, but like it's predominantly crawfish. There is no catfish season. That's year round.
I was going to say, if there is no shellfish, wheat fish, or oyster, or like, because that's mollusk. Yeah.
You know. By the way, I still have a problem with the Archdiocese of New Orleans declaring that alligator is a seafood. You can have alligator on Fridays in Lent. Alligator is a reptile. It's neither a fish nor a crustacean. Alligator is as much a seafood as... Yeah, well, how about this? Alligator is as much of a seafood as duck is. Alligators swim in water, ducks land on water. I mean, it's not a seafood. They're not even amphibious. I wonder if we also got dispensation on I've never known if we got dispensation on turtles. Doesn't mean much here, but like oh, fantastic. Is Tara in the district?
And then my boys put coffee on it. I was going to bring it to the thing with me, but it said to the residents of 1436 Person Drive. I was like, oh. It was a well done flyer.
Yeah.
And then on it, she like, what did it say? It said backed by Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And like Trump. I was like, I love it. I was like, she's.
I swear, I think I'm going to declare that I'm voting for the candidate who offers to serve me the best, not serve Trump the best. Like everybody. Everyone, yeah. Well, the president has endorsed a candidate in the Senate race and a candidate in the House race. But everybody else is saying, I want to be the closest to him. Like John Fleming is like poorly photoshopping Donald Trump into pictures with him. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, like, Julia can do that. She has served her district well. Because the polling numbers say that everything's about Donald Trump. Donald Trump won by double digits everywhere. No, it's not stupid. I find it frustrating. Like, eventually I'm going to snap and I'm going to ask a candidate that, like, point blank, who you being elected to serve? Trump or me? Right. 737 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. You know when you make a purchase and you're really happy with that purchase and you start finding everything about the purchase that you absolutely love? That's where I'm at right now with One Bath and Closets. Christy and I, towards the end of last year, decided to get our master bath redone. Our house was built at 64 and the bathroom showed it, y'all. It was not user friendly by any stretch of the imagination. All the fixtures, of course, were old. We had one vanity, not two. It just everything about the bathroom was dated and just blah. So we called David Duvall and his team at One Bath and Closets at 400-8005 and got him out there, got a look at it. And he told us what was possible, told us what it might look like, and then we started down the process of breaking it down to see what we wanted. And he walked us through it every step of the way. Well, now we're a good, month and a half, 2 months into the bathroom here, and I'm starting to find out little things that I had no idea I was going to love about this. For example, I've shaved 7 minutes off of my morning routine. Look, when you work in morning radio, every minute counts, right? So I don't know why. I noticed that, over the last 2 weeks, I'm getting out of the house earlier now. Oh, it's because my bathroom is more functional and serves me and my morning routine. Not to mention the fact that the shower is just so awesome, so I can decompress when I get home as well. It's awesome. One Bath and Closets is the website, ONE, One Bath and Closets. You are hearing from an unbelievably satisfied customer. I recommend you do the same. If your house was built more than 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it's time to re-up, y'all. Bring it up to today's standards, onebathandclosets.com. All right, we are in the post-mortem of 2026 Mardi Gras, and it was a good one. Joining us now from New Orleans and Company is Kelly Schulz. Kelly, good morning. Welcome back to Talk 107.3. How are you?
Hey, Brian, good to talk to you. Thanks for having me.
Not glad to have you on here. Glad to finally put a face to the name on till Sunday there. Great to meet you in person.
I know. I'm so glad we finally got to meet in person. I'm glad you got to be at our offices, and we have such a great spot on St. Charles Avenue for parade viewing. I'm really glad that you could be there.
No, absolutely. And it is a fantastic spot. It's a fantastic building. It's a great, it is, as being ambassadors to New Orleans, it's the proper home. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect. So let's walk through Mardi Gras a little bit. It was a good one. Give me, do we have some preliminary numbers?
Well, it was a really good Mardi Gras season. And I know that Mayor Moreno and her administration and all of us from a tourism standpoint are looking at it as a really successful Mardi Gras this year. We don't have our final numbers in yet, but what we're thinking is, the hotel occupancy, we always survey our hotel members, and there's about 26,000 hotel rooms in the French Quarter and downtown area. So we expect that those are going to come in at over 90% occupancy for the second weekend of Mardi Gras. So really strong numbers there. And just what we were seeing, I know you saw it as well, just really large crowds along the parade route. And our hotels and restaurants and shops are reporting really strong business. It was nice that this Lundi Gras was the same day as President's Day. So we think a lot of Americans chose to spend their long holiday weekend in New Orleans. So overall, we don't have the final numbers yet, but overall it was a big success.
Well, 90% range puts it on par with last year, and it's still continued improvement in post-pandemic when everything has been rebuilding on the tourism front. It's good to stay on pace.
Absolutely. And, we've got, even though we had Mardi Gras parades going on, we used that opportunity to do some satellite media interviews with television stations around the country. And we used that as an opportunity to invite visitors to come to New Orleans for Spring Festival season and what's coming up after Mardi Gras. So, we used our beautiful spot on St. Charles Avenue and did some live TV on Tuesday morning, and we were able to say everywhere else it's just a normal Tuesday, but in New Orleans it's Mardi Gras, and kind of talk about what that means, and then invite visitors to plan a trip, and hopefully that will be successful as well. And we'll get, we had a few million viewers, but hopefully many of them will be inspired to come in either for next Mardi Gras or hopefully before.
Well, and this is getting back around to the headquarters. We're talking with Kelly Schulz from New Orleans and Company. Getting back around to the use of the headquarters. I love when we can do things like this. I love when we think outside of the box to make sure we're making the most of our moment in the sun, right? A great example was last year with the Super Bowl. There was never a moment where New Orleans wasn't making the most of the opportunity to shine on the world stage. Well, having your headquarters on St. Charles like that really opened up the opportunity to be able to put yourselves front and center on camera, live, as often as possible for the rest of the world to share in what, what we call everyday life.
Exactly right. It's funny. I tell people, like, part of my job on Mardi Gras Day was to explain to someone in Iowa what it means to catch a Zulu coconut. Like, stuff that we do here that is so unique and so culturally amazing. We try and synthesize that for viewers all over the country that may not understand New Orleans. But yes, Walt Leger, our CEO, he's very kind and wants, to use our spot to do interviews and welcome our customers. We had 30 of the country's top meeting planners in New Orleans over Mardi Gras Day, and they were able to come and see some of the parades. And the one thing, it's interesting, what people say the most, of course, it's the spectacle of Mardi Gras, but what you see there in the Garden District is just how family-friendly Mardi Gras is.
Yeah.
And that surprises a lot of people. So, we talk about, these are New Orleans families who have come to this spot for generations. Yep. And you see little kids and grandparents, and it's almost like tailgating while you're waiting for a parade to pass. And so that gives them a really unique perspective into the family-friendly part of Mardi Gras, which comes as a surprise to a lot of people.
Well, look, me and my kids were out there for Toast Sunday, and we went walking up and down St. Charles before the parade. Ended up, according to my Apple Watch, we ended up walking 3 miles before it was all said and done, and saw more than a dozen people that we knew, and we're from Baton Rouge. So, like, when you talk about that family aspect, it really does get overlooked. Of like, okay, what happens in the quarter? You know who's going there, you know what they're going there for, but the overall family aspect of the whole city really, really needs to be able to shine.
Exactly. And, one of my favorite things, and I was born and raised in New Orleans, and one of my favorite things is just to watch, the locals mingling with the visitors, right? They're like, hey, do y'all want some gumbo? Like, let's come over here. Let me show you how to, put your kid on this ladder, or how to catch bees. So I love, like, and that's what we always talk about, is just how warm and welcoming people from Louisiana are, and that when our visitors come, they truly embrace them and want them to feel welcome and join in the celebration. So that's always one of my favorite parts of Mardi Gras. And we try and share that, because, as you said, some people don't realize that. And some people think, I'd never bring my kids to Mardi Gras. Well, you did.
Yeah.
I have.
I have my whole life. Look, this is my whole life. So it is part of the, like, it's part of the kids' DNA.
Exactly.
Tell me where else you're going to take a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old for a walk with their parents, and they're not going to they're into it, right? Pointing out costumes. Right. Exactly. But like, you mentioned the tailgate atmosphere. It is very similar to LSU on a game day, that pre-parade where you could smell every grill up and down St. Charles. Everyone's got their own soundtrack going. It is across the spectrum of what's being thrown on the grill, what's coming out of the speakers, but the unifying spirit is that everybody's out there for the same good time.
Exactly. And not only is it a good time, but as you know, it's a huge economic boost.
Well,
a study from Tulane University a couple of years ago showed that Mardi Gras has an economic impact of $900 million. And, that's not just the visitor spending. If you think about everything that is spent on Mardi Gras throws and the balls and the entire season of Carnival, it's pretty significant. And so one of the things that this study found is that for every dollar that the city of New Orleans invests in Mardi Gras, it gets a return of $2.64. So, we tell people this is so significant economically, culturally, to who we are as Louisiana residents, and bringing in the kids. And it just could not have been a better Mardi Gras season.
What's next? Not to be greedy and keep after it, but what's next on the calendar in New Orleans?
What's next? Well, we continue to welcome major conventions and meetings every day. And this year in particular, we have a large number of big medical and healthcare conventions coming to the city. So this is significant because it brings in tens of thousands of people. The next big meeting is the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. That's going to be here in early March. It'll bring 18,000 people to the Montreal Convention Center. These are physicians, researchers, surgeons, healthcare professionals, exhibitors, and of course they fill the Montreal Convention Center and do their education and their exhibit hall, and there'll be some. I think one of their guest speakers is Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, they bring in some pretty big name speakers, but again, those people are typically staying longer, spending more. They are filling our hotels and restaurants. They're going to shop. Hopefully, when their meetings and convention business are done, they can take their customers out to hear live music. I mean, just again, those big medical meetings that keep on coming in that we work hard to get. Those are a big deal, and those are happening a lot this spring.
I want to be in that room just to hear Arnold Schwarzenegger say ligaments and tendons.
I know he's one of the orthopedic surgeons' annual meeting.
Cut the knee open.
So it should be interesting. I know.
Oh, good. Hey, do we have a minute left here? Yeah, we sure do. I want to ask you about the Maestri Classic. This is new.
This is new. So it actually took place last night at the UNO Maestri Field at Privateer Park, and this was a baseball celebration. So it honors Coach Ron Maestri, who was known as kind of the architect of UNO baseball. We were happy to be part of this, and the event is over with, and I haven't gotten a recap yet. From what I hear, it was a big success. So they had college players here from UNO, Northern Kentucky, Alabama A&M, taking part in this special game, kind of an exhibition all-star game. And it was also another family-friendly event. So they had, baseball arcade and different things for the whole family. So we're happy to be part of that. And New Orleans and Company is always looking at ways to be, secure and sponsor and promote these types of special events.
Y'all got a lot coming up, but we are just straight up out of time for today. Looking forward to talking Sail 250 in the near future, and festival season's upon us. We'll get into all that on our next visit. She's Kelly Schulz with New Orleans and Company. Always appreciate the time.
Thanks, Brian. Have a great weekend.
You too. Absolutely. Here's your money now. I was hoping she would touch on the Dream League part of the Maestri Classic. I was hoping she would touch on the Dream League part of the Maestri Classic. It's all these college kids, all these college ball players were working with getting out there with special needs kids for like a special game for before their game. I know. All right, I've already got the sales pitch for Mardi Gras 2027.
Are you going to the greasing of the poles?
Yeah, we're gonna make that happen next year. But the sales pitch for Mardi Gras 2027 is it's colder where you are. Like Mardi Gras 2027 is gonna be February 9th, earlier than this year. Yeah. So if Mardi Gras Day is February 9th, then you're definitely telling everyone from around the country it's colder where you are. I'm a fool to do your dirty work. Oh no.
You doing bad things, Donald Trump. Doing good things, Donald Trump. Running for office, Donald Trump.
So bad shit.
It's like they can't build their own identity.
Right.
Without being tied to Donald Trump some sort of a way, whether against him or for him. And before him, Joe Biden. It still is.
Yep.
Check on your drive from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
If you're coming in on I-12, it's just a 17-minute drive from Cuban to the 1012 split. I-10, Perryville to Highland Road is 5 minutes, 14 ahead of that from Highland on up to the bridge. No major accidents right now. There are particularly heavy backups, at least from the moment. Just a few areas, minimal slowly developing all across the Baton Rouge area. I'm Ray Romero.
This report is sponsored by Capital One. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase with the Capital One Venture X Business Card. Big purchasing power deals. Spend more and earn more. Capital One Venture X Business Card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details. This report comes to you from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. Right in the Holland here. Fit your color, fit your style. LeeWinder.com.
7:55, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We got a stacked up 8 o'clock hour, so we need to move this day in history up to right now.
In 1792, President George Washington signed the Postal Service Act, establishing the Post Office Department in the U.S.
He did?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know that. Okay. 1811, Louisiana approves its first state constitution draft. Delegates gathering in New Orleans approved structural elements of what would become the 1812 Constitution.
All right. We take that.
1962. I remember reading about this.
You jumped all the way to 1962?
I did.
Okay.
Well, I can't throw in 1958. Billed as the big gold record stars, Bill Haley and his Comets. You had the Crickets, Jerry Lee Lewis, Jimmy Rogers, and many more all appearing on the first date of a sit-stay tour in Florida. 1962, John Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth.
Okay.
I remember reading about that. Yep. Let's see. 1965, NASA's Ranger 8 mission ended when the spacecraft intentionally crashed on the moon after sending back detailed lunar photos. I didn't know they just were like, hey, we're going to do this.
Yep.
Let's see. 1998. I had to throw this in there because we're in Olympic mode right now. Tara Lubinsky, at age 15, became the youngest Olympic figure skating gold medalist, 15 years old in the Winter Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow. In the year 2000, Saints hired Jim Haslett as head coach.
We could have skipped that one.
I know, but it's New Orleans history.
I understand. But like, okay, but you skipped 1984.
Okay, what happened in 1984?
This day in 1984, Skip Burtman got his first win as an LSU Tiger.
Oh, come on. I could have lived with that instead of this.
That's what I'm saying. You got Jim Haslett, but 870 wins, 5 national titles, 10 College World Series appearances. It all started today in 1984 in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, with a 7-1 win over the Golden Eagles.
Woohoo! In the year 2000, the Station nightclub. It was a fire in that nightclub in Rhode Island, killing 100 people, injuring about 200, also killing guitarist of Great White. I remember it was the pyrotechnics.
Yeah,
that whole ordeal. What you got?
This day in 1839, Congress banned dueling in Washington, D.C.
Oh,
birthdays.
All I got is Chapel Rowan. She's 28 years old today.
Wow, that's it?
And Millie Bobby Brown, 22, TV actress.
Okay,
Who else you got?
I'm going to add a few to that. Got pitcher Justin Verlander, Sir Charles Barkley. I was born on this day in 1963. I believe I have the right date here. Yeah, February 20th. Okay, Cindy Crawford. It's her birthday. Kurt Cobain. Rihanna's birthday as well.
Rihanna?
Yeah.
That didn't top my list at all.
I don't know why.
Okay. Charles Schulz, talking about deaths on this day. He's known for the Peanuts, the man behind the whole comic, the Peanuts. He passed away on this day. Who else you got?
Since we're short on time, I'm going to just give you P.G.T. Beauregard. He died on this day in 1893.
Okay.
Confederate War General. Of course, he's all over the place in Louisiana. Born near New Orleans.
National Love Your Pet Day, Brian.
That's fine.
You don't have a pet. You can't go home and snuggle.
No, I don't have a pet. Don't want a pet. We're never home. It would be mean to have a pet. It would be cruel to have a pet, to just abandon there. We're coming up on 8 o'clock at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. We are going, we got so much ground to cover next hour. I want to talk in the next hour about the Planting Seeds of Hope event that's coming up. We're also going to talk about the Rue Rally. And State Representative Mike Echols is running for Congress. We will have him on the hotline as well. That's all coming up next hour on Talk 107.3 FM. Before we get to that, though, of course, we've got ABC News coming your way. We'll check traffic again. We'll check weather again. Then hour 3 is up next. Oh, holy hell. Hey. Yo. Yeah, right through here. No, you're good. You're good. You got about 4 minutes till we're on. Yeah, come on in.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Brian, good to see you again.
Likewise.
Jordan Tabor.
Yeah, good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yep, have a seat. You'll be up coming out of the break there.
And we're always live on Facebook, y'all.
Pressure's on.
Oh, and the event's coming up next week. Is that right?
Tuesday.
Okay. And I mean, normally we try to do a whole get y'all in on every show all at once, but I understand you're everywhere. Y'all hitting everything, but not all at the same time. So you're coming back on Monday for some of the music stations?
Correct. I'm not sure what we have on Monday because there's been so much, but there is something on Monday, and they're trying to add to it. Okay. So Guarantee Media's been amazing.
And this is, if I'm not mistaken, Ryan Clark was on Moscona's show yesterday, right?
I heard that he was, but I didn't hear the show.
But I know that he was, but I only caught the back end of it.
Yeah.
So what I was told was they talked about the event on the front end.
Awesome.
Great. Then I don't need to call him today to remind him to come.
I had emailed Matt just asking if he could do some coverage, and he said, "Well, I'll try to get time with Clyde and Ryan, which is even better."
Yeah.
So we'll have a good 8 to 10 minutes. We don't have a hard out on the back end, so
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got Shelly here.
Fill the void.
Man, can I give y'all some feedback about these stools? My feet can't reach the pedestal.
The pedestal is supposed it's supposed to be able to clamp it. You turn it to get it to tighten, but people use it to climb themselves up on it, so it always slips right back down again. That's
I have this trouble, so just
believe me,
give me a hard time.
the feedback has been given.
So you have a lot
promptly ignored.
You have a lot of vertically challenged guests.
It's yeah.
Yeah, I'm very vertically challenged. I'm 5'1".
That's funny.
What do I?
Like all your memorabilia back there.
Oh, thank you. It's slowly grown over the years.
An eclectic group of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
We touch on a lot of different stuff on the show. Everybody's eyes are always directly to the tequila bottle.
Yeah.
Which is empty.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Was that good or bad?
It was fantastic. It's bad that Natalie hadn't come by with a new one yet.
Yeah, so
I don't have pink eye or anything. Just so you know, I just had a battle with the contact this morning.
Oh, good.
So.
I heard from the secretary of the Department of Veterans Affairs. So he's going to come. Gave her some directions. But that's part of
Is that Miracle?
Miracle.
His assistant?
Yeah. Actually, going to give him a little bit of a shout out in the script as well.
No sign of the mayor.
Yeah. Busy. I look back because we had room in the beginning with Healthy BR. Like it was a whole, they had like a minute to talk.
Mm-hmm. That the mayor never showed he sent a delegate last time.
Right.
Or was it the time before?
No, he had just been inducted. And it was a guy.
Let's get you all right up on the mic so we're good to go.
There we go.
806 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now, starting off your 8 o'clock hour at 72 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing as we're broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio on Government Street. We moved this day in history up so we can make room for some guests who have got an unbelievable event coming up, an unbelievably important event coming up next week. That would be Jordan Tabor and Shelly Mullenix coming in for the event's called Planting Seeds of Hope, right?
Correct.
Okay, I always want to say the rain will bring flowers, but that's the foundation.
Correct.
Jordan, take it away. Tell me all about it.
Sure. So we have an amazing evening planned for February 24th. The event is called Planting Seeds of Hope, and it's done in partnership with Rain Will Bring Flowers, LSU Athletics, the L Club, the Joe Burrow Foundation, and it's just going to be a magical evening, an evening of hope and inspiration. And I would just encourage all of your listeners to attend. We have an incredible lineup, and Ryan Clark, Clyde Edwards-Alaire, Sergeant Rick Yarish is our keynote, who's a Army combat veteran. And we also hired John Foster, the American Idol finalist, to sing the national anthem and do a handful of acoustical songs.
All right, now that we talked about the event for just a quick second, let's rewind the clock to talk about what brings the event about. The Rain Will Bring Flowers Foundation. Give us the backstory. Give us everything that brought you here to this place.
Yes, Rain Will Bring Flowers Foundation was stood up in response to the loss of my son Owen. Owen was 15 years old and passed in April of 2023. And one thing I would just leave with your listeners is that Owen was popular. Wildly popular, never bullied. He excelled in athletics. He was starting as a sophomore in high school on both sides of the ball. He did okay academically. And he came from a stable home where he was supported in every way, a home with resources, a home that is grounded in faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want your listeners to know that, if a kid like Owen could fall victim to suicide, then I really feel like all of our kids are at risk. And Owen's mom and I just couldn't let our family tragedy go to waste. And we incorporated 15 days after his passing.
And the mission has been, since then, one that has been, I think eye-opening is probably an understatement.
Yeah, we're facing an epidemic. Louisiana adolescents, suicide is the second leading cause of death. It's also the second leading cause of death for NCAA athletes.
Really?
Yes, it's and your response doesn't surprise me because it is a silent killer, and the whole reason behind Planting Seeds of Hope is for us to normalize conversations around mental health and make it okay to talk openly about mental health.
It's a tough thing to do as a father of three, and mine are all over the board as far as age is concerned. I've got a college freshman, I've got an 8th grader, and I've got a 4th grader, and all three have completely different personalities. And this is one of the things that, it's, as a parent, it's a scary conversation to have. They are scary conversations to have. It's not a one and done thing by any stretch of the imagination. But when you hear stories that come from Rain Will Bring Flowers or from the Planting Seeds of Hope that's coming up next week, when you hear the stories, it's like, you got to do something. I don't know what the something is every single time out, but it's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and that's what's so magical about Planting Seeds of Hope and the feedback that we've gotten from parents and coaches, that they didn't know how to approach their kids with this type of conversation. And the event opened the door to start that conversation. And the feedback that we got was that these conversations were happening on the ride home from the event.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and that's as good a place as any. There's no time wasted. Shelly, let's bring you in on this a little bit. Talk to me about the foundation and how your role has evolved with this event itself.
Yeah, well, I took a random cold call at some point a couple of years back. It seems to be where I make most of the magic happen, on a cold call. And I think that Jordan was just looking to connect with LSU athletics. That was something that Owen was important to Owen. Mm-hmm. I think he volunteered at a lot of events at LSU, and the work that I was doing, or the work that I continue to do, as my role as an athletic trainer, and now the senior associate athletic director for health and wellness at LSU and athletics, is to normalize conversations around mental health. Like, that had always been a long time push in terms of how I interact with my student athletes.
Yeah.
So the call came, and I heard Jordan's story. He came by the office. We talked more, and I was on board. I've lost student athletes to suicide. So it's always been an important project for me to be a part of. And this was a way for us as an athletic department to use the platform that we have to be able to help.
Without spoiling a whole lot about the event, Tell me a little bit about the stories that folks are going to hear when they get there.
I think what I get out of the conversations is that they're real conversations. So I think at events like this, you feel like they're kind of staged and, they're planned out and they're controlled. I don't really see these conversations as being controlled and planned at all. So with Ryan on board, his questions, if you watch the pivot at all, I mean, they are
always.
The next question comes because of what the person had just said. And so this feels like the pivot. So if you're comfortable in that space, that type of podcast feel, that's what this is.
Well, Clyde's been on the pivot. So
Clyde's been on the pivot. Yeah.
And so if you're familiar with that, you're going to get some of the background already.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of different people that we want to talk to in a short period of time. If we had obviously the full hour and a half, that would be great. But I think the important thing with suicide and mental health is that it really impacts everybody.
Yes, it does. And this is where, speaking like for LSU, when you're recruiting athletes, you're bringing athletes in. The sales, like my side job, I work for sports properties. I produce on the radio end. So I see that hallway, the brand hallway, right? And it's like the Sports Illustrated covers and the Powerade ads and like all the glitz and glam that goes along with that.
Right.
But we never think about what's going on between the ears.
Right.
And that's where your role comes in and steps up.
That's all I think about is what goes on between the ears. I really have long cared less about where we ended up at the end of the season in wins and losses. It's always been about the journey that took us to where we finished that year. I could think back to 100 different examples of that, which make those years special. But it's a lot of stress for these guys and girls. They have an expectation of themselves. Their parents have an expectation. Their hometowns have expectations. Their schools have expectations. And they're just the same person that walked in as a young, 17, 18-year-old. They're young. And we forget that. So
Jordan, I don't want to dig too deep, but what's it been like for you and Lisa to learn that this is so prevalent?
It's been eye-opening to say the least. And, we had no idea that Owen was struggling and we were a very tight-knit family.
Right.
We knew that he suffered from anxiety, but Owen just did an amazing job of keeping his struggles to himself. We were completely blindsided by this. His friends were blindsided by it. And, Owen was an amazing kid. But, we resigned ourselves to believe that he was struggling with depression and doing a good job hiding it, like most of our athletes do, like most of our first responders and veterans and active military, right? They're all warriors in a way. And I feel like that what I've learned is that it's okay not to be okay, and you're not alone, and you really just need someone there for you to have a conversation while you're struggling, and that may get you to the next day.
Absolutely. The event is called Planting Seeds of Hope. It's coming up Tuesday night. Give us all the details one more time. And thank you again for stopping by this morning. Give us all the details.
February 24th, doors open at 5. There will be over 50 community mental health resources available, resources supporting veterans, active military, first responders, student athletes, and just overall general mental wellness. The show starts at 6. John Foster is going to kick us off with the national anthem, and then we'll run through the program. We plan on wrapping at 7:30. We're also offering free event T-shirts, 2,500. Is that right, John?
All right.
2,000.
Sorry,
Yep.
2,000 T-shirts for the first attendees, and then we have the support of both Raising Cane's and Jason's Deli, and we're providing 2,500 meals to the first 2,500 attendees.
Visit rainwillbringflowers.org to learn more. rainwillbringflowers.org. Jordan, Shelly, thank you all so much for a couple minutes this morning.
One last thing.
Go for it.
There's no need to register. Just show up at the gate.
Oh, even better.
Yep.
All right.
We take last-minute walk-ins.
Still visit the website anyway.
Yes.
And we'll see you all on Tuesday. Thank you so much for a couple minutes this morning.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Mike Echols is running for Congress in the 5th. He joins us next. Way faster than I said, so much more. Every time you come in, this is like your 3rd time on the show. And every time I just think I talk forever. I really don't believe we talk about mental health anywhere near enough.
Yeah.
I have a clinic that sponsors my show that specializes in anxiety and depression.
What's the
Neuroadjust.
they're going to be at the.
Are they?
Either they were there last year. They were there last year.
Okay.
Yep, they were there last year.
So they have they specialize in something called transcranial magnetic
Yeah.
stimulation.
So someone that's doing that is going to be there this year, and maybe it's still them, but they're going to be there.
See, we could have gone. That's another 10 minutes worth of conversation.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to them in the
So,
resource
yeah,
area.
there's another Jordan, but he's got a U in his name.
Okay.
And Jordan Generous.
Yeah.
Is over there. But I haven't gone. I don't know that I even need to go. But my mom, since my dad's passing, my mom has been in a fog. She's been in a fog.
Yeah.
And I know we're talking about younger people.
It's talk about everybody.
But when I started doing the spots for him, my mom was like, "You think that would help?" And I'm like, "I don't think it'll hurt." And she went over there. She did all 30. It's like 36 sessions. Yeah. And the way Jordan puts it is, it's like physical therapy for your brain.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're taking antidepressants, it's the same as taking a painkiller.
Yeah.
You want to actually, help.
Yeah.
So this is magnetic stimulation. It just lowers the size of those waves in your head. So
Interesting.
It's more calm.
The military's got a lot of really cool advancements like that too. I remember with Clyde when all this was going down initially with Clyde, and he was having a lot of PTSD stuff. I was trying to get him in touch with someone up in Maryland who specializes in that for veterans. Yeah.
It's in our backyard now. So
yeah, that's great.
It's moving in the right direction.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, sorry.
See you soon.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Likewise.
It's a far drop.
Jordan, I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Before you head out.
Sure.
Okay. This picture of Owen.
819 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Running a little bit behind schedule. Not to worry, though. We'll get caught up right now. Mike Echols, State Representative Mike Echols, is running for Congress in the 5th. He's on board with us right now. Welcome back, Mike. How are you, man?
Hey, Brian. Been a long time. Thank you for having me this morning.
It has been way too long since you've been on the show. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm about to start bugging you for the legislative session. So don't get too far. We got to talk campaign today, but we'll talk session very, very soon. So we'll get you back on the calendar in short order. I want to start with this. You threw your hat in the ring for the 5th. Let's talk about your why.
Yeah, the why. I've been doing a lot of work over the last several years in Louisiana with healthcare, working to lower the cost of living in Louisiana and numerous other things. But I want to take those same skill sets and the same priorities that we've had working in Louisiana and take that to Washington, D.C. We know that our healthcare cost for seniors is still too high. I fought for PBM reform and lowering the cost of care in Louisiana. I think we can take that nationwide. As far as infrastructure, we've been working on infrastructure in Louisiana and invested billions of dollars over the last couple of years. My goal is to go to D.C., bring back more resources so we can continue to build roads, bridges, and infrastructure. Those are just a couple of things. So, that's the big why, is that I think, the only business person in the race, having the skill set to take what we've done in Louisiana to D.C. and bring back things to Louisiana is where I think I'll shine.
Mike Echols is with us. He is running for Congress in the 5th. I want to talk to you a little bit about the district, because it's not the district that it used to be. This used to be, you are from the Monroe area. This used to be a Monroe district, but it looks completely different now. Talk to me a little bit about your approach here, knowing that you got to cover a lot more ground.
It is an extremely large district, over 20 parishes, from Washington Parish to Morehouse Parish. Of course, I was born and raised in Morehouse Parish, but 40% of the district is in the north part of the state. I'll call it rural. The other portions are in, Livingston Parish, East Baton Rouge, and then all the way over to Washington Parish. I've got great networks throughout those regions and have, worked with legislators, worked with elected officials in those regions for years now. Anybody that has worked with me will tell you, I'll come to their parishes, I'll come to their cities and try to give them any strategies I can to help grow jobs, business, hope, and opportunity. And I think that, we've got an advantage from a ground game perspective of leveraging, the relationships we've had over the years in the legislature.
Talk about that ground game for just a minute, because with this unique district layout, It's going to take a lot of man hours. I mean, especially in a grassroots level, a lot of man hours to cover all of it. How do you plan on attacking the district from the perspective of you still got your job to do during the session?
Yeah, so we've got an excellent team that is being deployed out throughout the district. Now, I've already made my way through almost every parish, meeting with different leaders, and I've got over the next 2 weeks set up meetings with different leaders throughout those areas. We'll be working 20 hours a day. Fortunately, I don't sleep much, and I do drink a lot of coffee. So we got plenty of time. I think, you got under 90 days to get this done. It's a ready, fire, aim scenario because of the way that the timing is rolling out with this new closed party primary system. So it is going to be very rigorous. We're raising money, too, to get the message out there and let people know who we are.
What have you learned so far about the district? I mean, you talked about healthcare, you talked about jobs a little bit, you talked about infrastructure a little bit. What have you learned so far about the district that might have caught you by surprise?
I don't think there are a lot of surprises. I think that people are worried about the cost of living. We've had 6 years of crazy inflation, and because of that, that's impacting people's pocketbooks. This is a very large agricultural area too, not to mention the urban centers that are in it. Everybody has a diverse set of needs. And so, it's really just infrastructure, economic development, lower the cost of goods and services, helping our seniors with the cost of prescriptions and lowering the cost of healthcare. Those are the main things I'm hearing again and again and again. But what I continue to see is the love and the passion of people of Louisiana, one, to support a good candidate, but two, that we just have great people. And it's amazing to get back out and get to go back on the trail and talk to these individuals and see how much they care about Louisiana and Louisiana's future.
State Representative Mike Echols is our guest. He is running for Congress in the 5th Congressional District, which, as we just described, does cover a lot of ground. All right, Representative Echols, I want to ask a question that I've been asking of every candidate along the way. Our representation, Louisiana's representation in Washington, D.C., we bring to the table a few advantages that I don't think a lot of other states have. We bring representation that has specialties. For example, current Senator Bill Cassidy, doctor. So he's got a specialty right there. Current 5th District Congresswoman Julia Letlow, educational background. We would call that her specialty. What's your specialty?
Business. I think if you look at my business profile compared to anybody else in this race, and align it even with President Trump, we're both hotel developers. We're both real estate developers. We're both people that get deals done. I would align myself in the business category that works to get jobs, economic development, infrastructure projects done. I build stuff. I'm a builder, and my job in this role is going to be to build stuff for Louisiana.
When you bring that up to Washington, D.C., how do you use that to build relationships on the Hill?
I'm already pretty good friends with our speaker, Mike Johnson. Of course, the other legislative delegation have got meaningful relationships with them as well, not to mention other states. I've got congressional leaders all over the state that I've worked with through a lot of conservative groups over the years. So my job is to go and leverage those relationships and work to bring back the resources to Louisiana. I've done that, again, being from a small rural part of the state, and to be able to bring the tens of millions of dollars we brought back to North Louisiana. Same theories apply. I can do the same thing and bring back resources to our state.
While you're out of the campaign, well, let me ask the question as bluntly as possible. Washington's a cesspool right now, and you're asking to get in. How do you go about, just through your own personality, through your own work ethic, whatever? How are you planning on going about cleaning things up a little bit to where we can stop, always being at each other's throats?
Well, I think supporting term limits would be a very good step in cleaning out the cesspool. President Trump talks about the swamp and draining the swamp. I completely agree, and I'm completely supportive of some form of term limits. I think that's number one, a thing that's got to happen, and it's a national issue. It's got to happen nationally. So I think that starts to clean up the cesspool. Two, the civility things. I mean, you're going up there fighting with people tooth and nail to bring back dollars, resources to your state, and then advocate for policies that clean up our nation. I've enjoyed watching what's going on with the Doge efforts. I think we need to do that. If you're a business person, you're always working to clean up your own shop to be as lean and efficient as possible. I'm going to take those same skill sets to Washington, D.C.
Give us a couple of legislative wins. Tell me some things that you've done in the state legislature that you would, want a victory lap on because you could bring it to Washington with you.
Well, last year, passed the most comprehensive bill that I authored, Act 474 on pharmacy benefit manager reforms. We know that companies like CVS and other large PBMs are out sucking dollars out of the healthcare system. That means dollars out of yours and my pocketbooks. That's, again, cost of living. Cleaning that up and holding them accountable, creating transparent processes, that's a big legislative win. You know, if you go back to the healthcare side, I fought for dozens of healthcare initiatives, everything from getting people reliable transportation to and from their doctors, paying our primary care doctors fairly and efficiently so they can get in and see patients both in our Medicaid program and for private insurance. Those are just a few different areas that have impacted people's pocketbooks and also impacted their lives. But we've got tons of other legislative wins. You can find that all on the legislative website.
I not from nothing, and I know this probably isn't going to play into the campaign, but what are you doing with the radio show while you're running?
So FCC rules allow us to continue the radio show as long as we don't talk about our campaign. So we've been talking about jobs, hope, and opportunity for over 20 years now on the radio show. We're going to continue to do that. I'm sure some of the competitors out there will cry a little bit about it, but if they want to come to a radio show, I know our radio show is offering that. If you want to do 52 hours a week on the air, I bet our radio station might allow you, but most people don't have that type of commitment. I have, because I'm committed to my community, my region, and my state, and I'm going to continue to do it.
I was just curious, like how would one offer equal time on that front?
Look, there's I know there are different segments on shows around the state. Just buy your hour every week and get busy.
Well, we will let you get busy, let you get back to it. He is a State Representative Mike Echols, running for Congress in the 5th Congressional District. So, yeah, next time you're coming on, we're talking about the job at hand and not the job you're seeking, because once this session ramps up, it's going to be go time.
Well, we got a great bill to work on building a new Mississippi River bridge. It starts with naming it after our president, Donald J. Trump. I think if he likes what he sees, he'll invest in that. And so my goal over the next year is to make sure we get a new bridge over the Mississippi River. We've been talking about it forever. It's now time to get the job done, and I've got a bill that'll help get that process started.
He is Mike Echols. Looking forward to talking about that. We always appreciate the time.
You got it, man. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. Absolutely. Did he really just say he was going to name the bridge after Donald Trump?
I was waiting for you to go off.
I haven't hit my breaking point yet. I said I will hit my breaking point. This race is shaping up to be who can cozy up to the president the most.
Bad, good. It's all about Trump.
But like, he barely mentioned Donald Trump until he mentioned the bridge. So, but look, if that's what it takes to get the bridge funded and paid for, then good on him on the back end to be able to utilize it. I don't care what it's named when I drive over it. I drove over the Audubon Bridge on Mardi Gras Day. Couldn't care. It got me from one side of the river to the other. I'm good with that. You give me one side of the river to the other, whatever it takes to get that thing across the finish line. Look, I don't name it the Donald Trump Bridge. Name it the Marvin the Martian Bridge. I don't care. LandmarkBankLA.com. LandmarkBankLA.com. Love the folks over at Landmark Bank. Been a community bank since 1897, y'all. That's a long time to stick with one mission, and they've done so, and they've done so well. What is the benefit of having a community bank? Well, you have a banker, someone you can sit down and talk to about where you're headed, either personally or professionally, saving, investing, retirement. It's all available. LandmarkBankLA.com. Learn about their locations on the website, LandmarkBankLA.com. We're talking Roo Rally after news. Gentlemen.
Say good morning to you. Going to be live on the air in a few minutes with my man
Y'all
Brian.
didn't bring any gumbo. I want a gumbo.
You got to come out tomorrow night. We got Bree, we got Haldane, we got my man Chad over here, our board member. Looking forward to it. listen up, talk1073.com or 107.3 on the radio.
Facebook, Instagram,
all of it. Peace. Oh, that's a good one. That's my look.
Oh, no. Still photography is my arch enemy. Screen grabs are my arch enemy. I cannot.
Man, we need to get you a Covington hi-hat over here.
Why?
Well, I mean, to cover up this one.
That's
or how about a Catholic hi-hat? Since they own.
That's why that head is there. That's why that head is there.
What's up, community? Good morning. Good to be live on Talk 107.3 here in a minute.
I mean, what does St. Paul's have to offer in Baton Rouge other than, the outgoing chairman of the board of supervisors for LSU? That's the Cade Anderson, no big deal.
He's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
So is William Smith.
Yes, he is. I didn't see him pitch over the weekend. I'm hoping to see him pitch this weekend.
He's an animal.
I figured he would. He's going to grow into himself.
Yeah.
That's all.
They released the Kraken is what they've done, and he's going to get it.
But yeah, no. If any head goes right there, it's going to be a red sticker for the next 4 years.
There you go. Me too.
And then James is. You've got one going into ninth this year.
No, Shelby is a sophomore.
Okay.
Yeah, she plays softball for him. We're trying to get a field. We're trying to get a field for them. I mean, they don't have a softball field. We play at Oak Villa, Coach. It's
really,
and they practice at Gardner Lane. So every day, my daughter drives from St. Joseph's all the way down to Gardner Lane to go practice softball.
What attraction!
Yeah, I just like to note where it's located.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that. It's just a long drive.
It's a wonderful facility, but yeah, that's a hell of a track.
It's 5 o'clock traffic and all that.
I'm trying to think of where the nearest possible, what would be close to SJA, because they don't have the land for it.
It's coming. The land's there. Believe it or not, there's things in the motion. It's coming around.
Me too.
Athletic training facilities. There's a bunch of cool stuff in it.
Would it have to be shared with Catholic or
possibly? I can't spill any beans right now. It's a little early, but I don't want to.
Dude, I've known him for 30 years.
Yeah, he's from the Sea Town, baby.
Brian knows everybody.
It's Ingle Eats.
Oh.
Meal delivery.
Right. Can I get as far away from the camera as possible?
You're right in.
No, I'm
camera's right up there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we want you right here.
Okay.
I'll start for you, and then
whatever.
That way we can bring you in. Got a little. When you go on vacation again? I just want to get back in here.
I have to take a day off. I was taking a vacation day for Mardi Gras Day, so I had Betsy fill in, and then they told us Mardi Gras Day was a holiday, so she was having the day off, so I had to nix Betsy. So my next day off is promised to her already because she put together a lineup, and then she's gonna go back and give all those people the airtime they promised.
Here?
Do what?
She still lives in Baton Rouge?
Yeah.
She used to live next door to my parents.
Okay.
I hadn't seen her.
So you can't have next, but you can have after next.
Okay.
So
yeah, I need to get back on.
I'm
ready for that.
You want me to stand or no?
No, you're fine.
Yeah, Facebook can hear you.
You know I get excited.
Right now.
That's why I love handing it off to you.
I know. It's so much fun.
So early Mardi Gras early session has kind of jammed me up a little bit. I am probably going to take 1 day off before the session, and I'll hand that one off to Betsy. Within the first week or two of the session, when everything's in the background and nothing's coming across the finish line, I'll probably take another day there. But I will tell you this: I ended 2025 with a month's worth of vacation getting burned.
And you couldn't carry it over?
2 weeks worth.
That's bullshit.
It's on me. Management encourages us to take our time. They're all would like. It's just harder when you're
blame somebody else.
Yeah, no, it's 100% my fault. It's just when it takes more work to take off than it does to stay on. You say screw it, I'll do it.
And I can't get mad at Gordy and Flynn when they did some help on this big time. And appreciate you putting in rotation.
Oh, we didn't just put it in rotation. I haven't run a promo for my show all week. I have a promo that I update every day, and I just went ahead and put it the same commercial in there. So
freaking rock! Yeah, somebody told me yesterday. I heard your voice a few minutes ago.
I heard you on Moscona show yesterday. So yeah, the rotation was all stations. Yeah. Oh my God.
gosh.
836, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Normally, we move over to a Foodie Friday at this point. Well, we had to pivot a little bit. Our Foodie Friday guest is under the weather, so she'll catch up with us in a couple weeks, and we wish her all the best and a quick recovery from whatever has that fever going. But we're going to foodie-ish right now because tomorrow you have the opportunity to consume mass quantities of gumbo from people who know what they're doing. The Rue Rally's coming up tomorrow. I want to welcome back to the studio David St. Romain and Chad Chenevier. Boys, how you doing?
Hey there.
Doing good, brother.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to have you all on here. We're going to talk about gumbo in a little bit, but I want to start with the mission behind the Rue Rally. So take it away.
All right. Well, so some of you probably know that we started Songs of Survivors back in late 2019, and where we serve veterans across Louisiana with songwriting workshops. We bring veterans together to talk about their lives, positive, negative, struggles, traumas, good things. And we all spend about 4 hours talking, and then we spend about 2 hours together writing a song. Everybody talks about their life, and then we write a song together as a group, go back and produce it. And it's been an incredible work across the state. We've served over 250 veterans with about 25 different workshops over the course of about 4.5 years, minus COVID, which, was real difficult for all of us to get together.
Yeah.
But this year is going to be a record-breaking year for us. We'll have well over 12 workshops and serving at least 100 plus veterans this year alone. And Chad Chenevier, who's with us, has been on our board. He's a fellow battle buddy. We served together at the 205th Alpha Company in Covington.
No kidding.
Yep, back in college. And then we got to hang out in college a good bit. And after that, after we started the organization, I reached out to Chad. He participated in a workshop early on in our piloting. And then we asked him to be on the board. And part of his board contribution was to help put on events and fundraising. And this Rue Rally was Chad's baby.
You know what? Since we have a Covington High boy in the house, give me 1 second.
Oh, Lord, what are you doing?
Oh,
man. He's putting on some kind of rivalry hat here.
Okay, I was worried you were going to put that on my head and all the hair would fall out.
No.
You don't have much hair. What are you talking about?
No. We got to rep the Wolves here real quick since we got a lion in the house.
Because I'm not from the North Shore.
Do what?
Who is SP?
St. Paul's.
Okay, St. Paul's.
You get very familiar with their marching band during Mardi Gras season.
Yep. I didn't know the logo.
Intercity rivalry right here. The unifier is that we both hate Mandeville. So
hey, there you go. Are we in the listening area for Mandeville?
We got a lot of people that dial in on the Facebook for Mandeville.
I got you. But yeah, so we've been serving veterans. We're going to continue to do this work. It's become sustainable as an organization, and it's because of events like the Rue Rally that have made that possible.
We've been talking a lot this morning about both veterans and mental health.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about the mental health aspect of writing a song. What do they get out of this?
So it's very much a neurological thing. There's a shift that happens, I think, when you verbally, audibly purge trauma. Mm-hmm. And so there's science behind this that I'm not a doctor or educated person. I just know that what happens to me when I either, if I'm in a bad spot and I need to get better, I pick up my guitar and something just happens. The vibration of the strings, the music, the just being able to just kind of separate from it and let yourself go. And there is a shift. I mean, I've had veterans, we've seen it together where veterans come to us after and they're going, man, this is the best thing I've ever done. They've been through cognitive behavioral therapy. They've been through different types of treatment programs, but I've been told, and I don't want to sound like I'm touting myself, but this is the best. The best.
Well, you think about the number. No, you think about the number of things that it combines is not just the music, and the art form, but the catharsis and the closure of the storytelling.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, it was. I would compare it to like if you were sitting down and telling a therapist your story, like just getting it out there, can bring to it a lot of. And then when you telling the story can be both cathartic and scrape off wounds. When you put it to the beauty of a song, when you bring that art form back into it, now it becomes a lot more palatable.
Absolutely. And again, I mean, just in Chad's situation, when he joined us, it didn't as much have to do with trauma as it did with remembering for Chad. And I want you to tell the story about Pawpaw's Hat and how we got to writing a song about his grandfather and how much his grandfather influenced his reason for getting into the military. So I'm gonna let you take over, brother.
Yeah, no problem.
Get on that mic.
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Yeah. So in that pilot workshop where I was there, I was as prior service, I was able to interact with the other veterans that were there, and so the I guess the dialogue, we're capturing all of these I guess things that are important to these veterans, and so these lyrics are just kind of evolving, as we go, and so. But that one particular song, Pawpaw's Hat, was just a simple story of when I was a little boy, and I'd show up at my grandparents' house. I would bolt out of my parents' car and run into the back room of my grandfather's bedroom, and where I knew he had his old Army hat. And so I'd go get that hat, and I would beg him to march me around, and so I could be a soldier. And so if we can at some point, if you can find that song, Pawpaw's Hat, I don't know if you can YouTube it, but with that being said, you can kind of see as a young boy, I wanted a hat of my own, and so that's where the song came from, and so the amazing thing about these workshops is that these veterans are able to leave with a song that has a thread of their story in it, and it's a
great way to put it. It's a great way to put it. And, it is available. You can listen to it on our website, sosmusic.org. The music is up there.
We'll have Bree Lynn bring it up during the break.
Okay.
And we'll play it on the way back in from break. Heck, that might be the whole last segment.
That's awesome.
If that's what
but
it takes.
I think the peer-to-peer model is what is special here. There's a few other organizations across the country that do this. There's not one in Louisiana. We're the only one for sure, officially. But when you have your fellow battle buddies next to you, men and women, and they've been through either childhood trauma and they're just being vulnerable and sharing it, it really breaks down the walls, and everybody just feels comfortable about sharing, and having that peer-to-peer support is really important. I mean, it's again, science. I mean, it'll tell you that peer-to-peer support is a huge thing. That's why we have AA. That's why we have these group, therapy sessions. We never tout ourselves as therapists, because I'm not a therapist. We do tend to have a licensed clinical, some type of clinician in the room in case someone needs to step out. But it is a really profound and powerful, experience for them. And so we're going to continue doing it. And it's opportunities like the Roo Rally that make that possible.
We're going to pivot to that in just a second, but I do have one more follow-up question. When you mentioned you're not a licensed therapist, but you do have a therapist on hand. Do you find that your brothers get more from the therapist or from each other?
Oh, from each other.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
The therapist most of the time doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Unless they're a veteran, and then they're participating in itself. Because, a lot of therapists come from trauma.
Right.
And one thing about that workshop, and I think that it doesn't matter what branch or how many years of service you've been in, when you have a group of veterans that are together, it doesn't matter if they've combat veterans or not. I mean, one simple question is, where did you go to basic training? And that right there, just, everybody's comfortable, and they understand that this is a brother of mine or sister of mine, and we're able to talk easy.
It's kind of like if you're from Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
Right.
Like that's the first thing that everybody, or New Orleans.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you ask, or North Shore.
Right. Well, yeah.
So you want to find that thing that connects you. And every one of us went to basic or boot camp or A school or flight school or whatever it is, that we all have that same unified.
It's an instant acceleration of a relationship.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of break
the
guard goes down and the walls come down, and you just feel willing to share.
All right. We got about 4 minutes till break. So let's talk about Roo Rally for the next 4 minutes.
Okay.
Tell us all about it.
Yeah. So if you guys are familiar with I guess maybe the past 10 years, Preston Lamy and Ryan Allen, there's a group of guys that at a local, I guess it was a brewery, decided they're going to have a gumbo cook-off. And I think it started with like 4 teams, and then they got up to maybe 60 teams, and it was downtown Baton Rouge. And then COVID came around and basically kind of wiped out all these large gatherings and events and things. And so it just couldn't sustain. And I guess maybe a year and a half ago, Preston brought it back up to me that, hey, this thing is still out there if you guys want to resurrect it. And shoot,
and that's where we went running. We were looking for
I'm
the
nuts
next
enough
thing.
to do it, and I love gumbo. So if you're passionate about something, and there's a playbook, right? I mean, these guys have already done this thing for me, so we were able to just kind of grab it and coordinate it with Songs of Survivors, and so Baton Rouge now has its gumbo cook-off.
How stiff is the competition?
Well, it's going to be stiff.
It's gonna be tough, brother. There's some real cooks coming.
See, that's the part that I really like about this is, admission's $10, which gives you samples across the board, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna stuff yourself with as much gumbo as you possibly can, but you're paying $10 for people who know what the bleep they're doing.
Right.
And that's the difference right there.
And you're gonna have great music too.
Well, of course, obviously. Admission's $10. Doors will open at 11 o'clock. We're talking Galvez Plaza downtown tomorrow. Walk me through a little bit about, once you get there, just what the process and procedure is.
Well, so the cook teams are going to be out there as early as 6 a.m. Probably Rue's going to be stirring around at 8 a.m. We're open to the public at 11. We're going to have bands playing. So we have entertainment and good music. And we know that as of right now, there's a 40% chance it won't rain. So we're looking at the bright side of everything. But the competition's good. These guys are some battle-hardened gumbo teams that I've seen around.
They take it seriously. I didn't realize how serious they took it.
So my follow-up on that is when it comes to gumbo, it means a lot of different things. Are we talking chicken and sausage gumbo? Are we talking seafood gumbo? What are we looking at?
Yeah, so we've got three categories, right? But the two main are the seafood gumbo and then a chicken and sausage gumbo. And so the winner of which is being done by Ascension Jambalaya Committee, professional judges. We'll give it. It's not us,
unbiased, right? Like they're not connected.
I'm going to
have a team in there.
We know them from the Jambalaya cook-off and whatnot, and they are serious.
So we had to bring in the real guys, right?
Yeah.
So we got some real judges there, and so we have seafood and we have chicken, and whoever wins both of those categories go head to head for the overall champ. And then we have this other category that's called a Cajun combo, where if you want to throw something in there that's off the wall, then it goes in that thing. So
wild game, whatever.
Yeah.
Rounded up geese over
no
by
dogs
Oxnard.
allowed.
If you don't just assume that you're going to get a bowl of chicken and sausage, you may want to ask if there's
whatever was crossing River Road that morning.
Don't think you're going to eat much gumbo, because I asked. I'm celiac, and I'm like, I need a gluten-free gumbo out there. We need our own gluten-free.
Gluten-free gumbo.
It's awesome. You should try it.
No.
No, he says.
No. How are you going to stay contained? I mean, you're supposed to be on stage. How are you not going to be like, walking around Dean Martin and all over the place politicking?
Man, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing.
Bro.
So I'm the last band. We're going to close it out right for the last hour and a half. And I'm going to just do what I do, which is shake hands, kiss babies, and, hug mamas.
Let's get y'all to stick around for a little bit. We're late for Your Money Now on Talk 107.3.
Just said that out loud.
You did. And hug mamas.
Come on, baby. I'm singing.
Hug mamas.
I'm single, baby. I can do that.
Miss Gunner's going to have it in this opening segment.
Hug mamas.
Facebook, bring your mama.
Bring your mama in there.
All right. Can you go to the Songs of Survivors website to find Paw Paw's hat?
Let's see.
All right, I'm going to find it and send it to you.
I've got that SoundCloud link.
It is on SoundCloud.
You've texted it to me before.
So what's your role with ABC?
Triad Electric. We're just a member of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not really advertising.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be over there for the legislative update next week. I signed up to go attend that just to kind of listen in on what y'all are going to be looking for.
Yeah. So we're a member. They train a lot of our craft, like electricians and stuff,
Yeah.
So we support ABC, and I don't know.
Yeah. All good. I was just curious since I'm heading that way. Well, huh? Oh, so far so good. We got one more segment to go. No, it was really well. Man, I'm only showing a 24% chance of rain tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's moving around, man. Look, it was 60 to
Just email it to me.
Yeah.
Can you email it to me real fast?
Yeah, I've been following it all week long. But I think that the chances of rain, it's all before dawn. It's all the overnight hours. So,
yeah,
man, I am pissed I don't get to go.
Oh yeah.
Well, so my daughter's at Southern Miss, and tomorrow's bid day, so we got to be there for whatever that means.
Oh,
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's
Tell me
okay.
that
Got
again.
T-U-L-L-Y.
My oldest daughter's at Southern Miss,
Okay.
and tomorrow's bid day for
sorority
sorority.
stuff.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
is what it is.
Well, a lot richer than me. I can't. I can't even imagine that.
Okay, cool.
So like, here's the weather up here.
Do what? Yeah. Well, if you look at the hour-by-hour forecast.
Well, yeah, that's probably a replay though.
Yeah, the hour-by-hour forecast is showing like it's the overnight hours, like from late Friday night and early Saturday morning. So by 5 a.m., it looks like it starts to clear out. You might even get some sunshine, which is not gumbo weather, but whatever.
It's comfortable, right? Short sleeve shirt.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Give a
And you know,
shout out to my TCOM guys. They said they're watching.
Awesome. Share it.
There you go.
No private needs to be
I had Andrew on this morning. Yeah, I don't know if you were listening to 7 o'clock hour.
I didn't sleep last night. This sobriety thing's really hitting me.
I bet.
Yeah, I had some really shitty dreams last night.
Wow.
Ex-wives.
Are you replacing with anything?
I have Zen.
Yeah.
Helping with cigarettes.
Yeah.
Walking.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still expelling like a lot of sweat right now, just the toxins.
Yeah.
Prayer. I mean, everybody's really, dude. My brothers are just
better.
Yeah, we're on Facebook.
digging in on me right
We're
now.
not live.
So
You want me to turn it off?
Mamas?
Like right now.
No, with you and me talking about the coping mechanisms and whatnot.
Hey, I don't care. I'm 3 days, no alcohol, no cigarettes, trying to make some healthy decisions.
And no more bisexuality.
And no, well, actually, I'm still there, but
And I'm like,
BUY. That's.
I mean, it depends on how much money he's got, and
I know. I was like, you were just so open about it. I was like, oh, okay. Do you think?
Like show him age, got these readers on.
Yeah.
Golly, y'all.
I'm a singer, baby. We got to try it on.
Right? Cocaine and all that.
No, actually, the reason I never did cocaine is because I would love it. And I had to, and I don't let things go very easily. So I'm either all the way in or
it just looks so appealing, though.
How are you going to do this tomorrow while you prepare?
I don't have any issues there. Performing wise, it's not a problem. I think I was talking about this with Darren yesterday. There's David and there's DSR.
Right.
And the DSR one is the one that just has a couple drinks and can flirt and all this stuff. David gets kind of reclused and, doesn't feel comfortable.
When you're on stage, it's a totally different person.
It shifts into this performance mode, and I don't even think about it. And actually, the sobriety probably helps me because I'm not Hank Jr. on stage anymore, like forgetting words. And,
all over, whatever.
I've had it happen. I've tripped on myself, but it's
yeah,
we're good.
I've also seen you in the zone. Do you have the song?
Yeah.
All right. Let me knock out a spot for Baton Rouge Metro Airport, and then we're gonna hit the song.
Yeah.
And then if there's time on the back end, we'll hear
it's
like.
It's not some big deal. But thank you, dude.
Of course.
For doing all this.
Of course.
So redoing is normal, right?
Yeah.
And next year we're gonna have enough money to run some serious ads.
Oh, good.
And that way.
Okay.
And I'll have a big LED.
Next year, I need to make sure. Well,
we didn't start till January.
Yeah.
So it was way late.
Well, so
yeah, we're hoping to get it back there.
I'm up in Hattiesburg, so
it's all good. There's a mini retreat.
Do what? Yeah.
There's a mini retreat, so they can't.
856 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. David St. Romain, Chad Chenevere staying, hanging out with us a little bit, although they're going to have to be quiet for a minute because, well, first I need to tell you about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport, flybtr.com. Absolutely love having this quality of an airport in our own backyard. Makes it so much easier, so much more convenient, so much more pleasurable to travel when you fly out of Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Went to Washington Mardi Gras a couple weeks ago. Due to weather, we actually had to pivot, and I had to fly to New Orleans. And I'll tell you, nothing sells BTR better than MSY. On the way home, we kept the flight, and I got to fly home to Baton Rouge.
Nice.
And it was, oh no, you get off the plane, you're at baggage in 2 minutes. If that, you get out of baggage, you're at your car in 30 seconds. It's so much more convenient, and you don't have an hour-long drive on the back end. FlyBTR.com. All right, as promised, we want to enjoy a little bit of the fruits of the labor of the Songs of Survivors. So let's hear a little bit of Paw Paw's Hat.
Pictures on the wall told the story, but that old hat saw it all. I was only 10 when he marched me through the battlefields of his backyard. I knew then I had it in me. I wanted a hat of my own. I got the call to give my all, not knowing if I'd make it home. The ones before me never got the glory, but I had a mission of my own. And I'm reminded where my courage was at when I wore Paw Paw's hat.
Wow. All right, knowing the backstory behind it, that is amazing. The translation right there, the story tells itself. Okay, we got literally 1 minute to go, and we got to recap all the details of Rule Rally as well. But David, you're singing along with it. Do you remember all of the songs that they plugged in, or is Chad special?
Well, this is a special song.
Yeah.
It was early. We produced a full band version. So, yeah, this one I didn't forget. And I've performed this one quite a bit.
Okay. Well, and, every time you've been on about Songs of Survivors, the one question I've never asked is, are they any good? That's really good.
Thank
you,
That was
brother. Amazing stuff. All right, Chad, one more time. Rue Rally, give us all the details.
Yeah, so downtown Baton Rouge, tomorrow morning, we're going to have some of the best gumbo in the state of Louisiana out there. So 11 o'clock, it's open to the public. We have 2 stations for wristbands, and you eat all you can. So we have at least 22 plus teams right now, and some of these guys, I've ate their gumbo for years, and it's awesome. So we should be wrapped up at 2:30. So it's just an easy Saturday. You get your afternoon back.
Galvez Plaza, come hungry. We'll see y'all out there. Guys, appreciate it
Thank you so much.
Always. Moon's next. Got it all in. All right, Facebook, we got to get out of here for the week. We'll see y'all on Monday.
Peace.